we are now welcome back to a still technically on time episode of Three Drinks Minimum, featuring a very, 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 very tired, not tired, but a little bit in pain, low energy videos. At least my nose isn't bleeding blood like it was yesterday. And Girl Does Rant, a name you may have heard of in songs and stories.
Oh my god, the legend was true. You know what though? As shit as you feel, you know what you should be happy about? At least you didn't get fucking face slapped by Will Smith this week.
I don't know. I probably would have not. It would have cleared
Hey.
up my congestion by the looks of it.
Oh, you can clear that right up. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna have a smoke. Go ahead and do your introductories. Mm.
Yeah, we're gonna get a little on the crunk side. I, for one, need it for medicinal purposes. Girly probably also needs it for medicinal purposes, and no court can
Mhm.
tell you otherwise. Wait, you're Canadian. Never mind. And I'm drinking. I'm drinking alcohol, the major export and shame of Ireland. Um. So yeah, I just need to get a few things out of the way before we get started because it's a slightly different shill than what we normally do on my shows. Um, Basically, I want you guys to just have a look down the doobly doo. You'll find all the standard shilling stuff, Discord, Twitter, if you can like, share, all that good stuff. But tonight, if you're thinking about giving money and can help out, we have a very well known name in the community by Augusta, and he is not very well right now. I want to just give a quick shout out to him. So he has a GoFundMe, and he's about to get evicted on top of everything else.
He's a berserker.
He's a pure berserker, berserk rage. Yeah. He he lost his mom not too long ago. And she unfortunately left him with a lot of extra stuff he just can't pay. So,
Oh man.
props to everyone, by the way, who's been
Wow.
donating so far.
People are
Um,
generous.
uh, it's been pretty bad. He's only got a few weeks before he's out on the street in New York, and on top
Oh.
of it all, he's going to lose all his items, and his teeth are pure absolute agony. Um, and his
You know,
work
throw this to
confidence
me. Throw this
also,
at me at Twitter. I'll retweet this too. This is sad. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I'll just so anything given tonight, if you want to give to a good cause rather than just the dub trip, which don't get me wrong, the dub trip would be very much appreciated too if you can give two, but there's now a pecking order, and his is kind of at the top,
Yeah.
at least for a while. Yeah, I'll just post this in your I'll post it in the chat.
Yeah.
Boop, boop. Now, um, as for tonight, we were going to just go straight into talk about Witcher stuff, and we do have got some Witcher stuff, including the meat of the bone tonight, the Hexer. Ooh,
Oh yeah.
uh,
Oh.
which I remember stumbling upon just as the game for like Witcher 3 was really blowing up. I started wikiing it, like the whole Witcher stuff. I hadn't read the books yet,
Mhm.
and I was like, wait, they made a TV show of it? And I checked it out thinking that is it going to be like Xena? It's basically like Xena. It's
It
got
is.
it's some I found some change in the back of my pocket while doing laundry sort of thing. Let's do a TV show with it.
Hey,
Um
it's a passion project.
Absolutely.
It is.
It
Yeah.
it is it is a very very um it's clearly done with a lot of love, and it's not without its charm. The same way that when we watched the Lord of the Rings stuff from Poland and oh god, Finland, that was and Russia. Oh, the Russian Lord of the Rings was a sight to behold. Uh, have you ever seen any of them?
I've actually never seen this one. I've read all the books, I've watched the show, played the games, all that jazz. Everything but this, actually. So I'm coming fresh into this myself. I've just seen the trailers and some clips and stuff, so I know the level of quality. But yeah, I should have watched it. Honest, it just it's like not terrible looking. You
No,
know, if
it's
you If you
It's
used to watch shows in, like, the '90s, that's sort of the vibe.
it has a Skinamax vibe to it without the tits, unfortunately. But we do have tits very briefly to talk about because I
The Red
produced.
Witcher Diaries.
Damn right. Um, uh, it's after 9 o'clock, the watershed hour. You know what that means? Side boob and ass and girls very awkwardly kissing each other, even though they're clearly not into it. Oh
Oh
yeah.
my god, ban it, it's problematic, just like Mass Effect.
Absolutely. Or should I say ass effect? Ha 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 ha
Ah,
ha.
ah,
Anyway,
ah.
tonight I am going to be getting drunk on a very frozen bottle of Hussar I pulled out of the fridge.
Fuck yeah.
Damn
Alright.
right. And I will need to keep up that tempo if I want to stop the pain. What about you, madam? What are you going to be partaking of?
I am partaking of Krabby's ginger beer, which is about the only beer that I'm really able to drink because I can't stand the taste of, like, anything else. Except maybe, like, alcoholic stuff, like, I can drink sake and Mike's Hard Lemonade for flavor. Anything else I gotta and Krabby's. Anything else I gotta, like, force down.
What about
So,
cocktails?
I've actually never tried cocktails. I don't know why. Never tried
Wow.
one. Yeah,
Had we
weird.
met up in Toronto and you told me that, I'd be like, enough said, you, me, bar now, and I would have just made,
Cocktails.
yeah. She wishes, like, what would be the first thing? If you were put in front of a bar right now, what would be the cocktail of your choice?
I
Money,
don't
guys,
even know. I like sweet drinks. Recommend me a cocktail. I like fruity, sweet drinks if I'm gonna do that.
Blue
So,
Lagoon, Sex on the Beach, 90s cocktails that look like Ecto Cooler.
well, I gotta try something that's called Sex on the Beach, don't I?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I call that your never married aunt cocktail. Uh, back when they were teenagers, they were off enjoyed sex on the beach in more ways than one. Whoa,
Ba-da-da-da-bum, bum, ba-da. Yeah.
hey. But no, it's gonna be a fun night. And to that end, though, and on the topic of sex, I also introduced you to something I did not actually plan to. The wonderful world of Wood Rocket, where we will start off tonight.
It's the
Um,
best thing ever. Best thing ever. I can't believe the number of parodies and oh, it gets so bad.
hold on. First things first. Boofed, boofed.
Mm,
Ah, oh, I was just there like,
oh,
why isn't the chat acting the way I wanted to act? That's very silly of the chat.
what's
Um,
going on? I don't know.
I think it's cutting it off. It is silly sausage. It was cutting itself off.
Oh,
There,
no.
fixed it. I fixed it. I know how to work this terrible, terrible thing.
You
I am
really
partaking of.
shouldn't
Okay.
you shouldn't make an example of my streams when technically running yours. That's a terrible idea.
Hey, when Hannibal and Monty were on, they were saying they were having huge technical problems. Then for the first hour, no one could hear me.
That's why I always check now, cause like, usually I forget the microphone. I don't know. Streamer brain, man.
Ever since I got these new headphones, it's been causing chaos. And anytime I want to, for example, use the PS4, it thinks it wants to hook up the PS4 controller. I'm like,
Ah.
no. Um, but look, none of that matters because it is time to get wood rocketed without the stroke them on without the stroke. Basically, there's no nudity. I did
So
have.
what is tell 'em what Wood Rocket is. What the because
Okay,
I didn't know about it.
so Woodrocket is a parody website that makes parody porns of basically, I think, whatever is commissioned of them. So you'll
Someone
find,
asked for all these.
so when asked for all this, this will include things like Strokemon, which is a porn parody of Pokemon. This will include things like the Sonic the Vadhog, which is a Sonic the Hedgehog parody.
Uh-huh.
Um,
And
Tugrats,
oh
Rugrats,
god,
the parody.
Tugrats,
There's also a Doctor Whore,
of
um,
course.
a Fortnut. I know Metal Gear Solid had a parody too, where there's fucking in a desert.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, there's a lot of shame going on here. as we will find out now, because like I said, there won't be any nudity here, hopefully, because well, I'm trusting you, big flip physicist, with your Raggedy Andy uh icon and your double the amount of people I have.
It's been on since 2019. Hopefully it'll be all right. Should be all right.
Nintendo, don't sue us.
This is like if Weird Al made like a porn song parody.
50. Gash.
Gosh.
AJ is top.
I don't even know which character that's a parody.
Brock. Cop.
Brock. Right. It's been a while since I watched Pokemon. Been a while.
Music. With dreams.
You gonna buy the soundtrack?
Dude, I already have a
Strokemon
playlist.
trainer Gash and his friends
there he
Cock
is.
and Fisty and his trusted Strokemon Pikachu have wandered from.
Look at that nightmare.
Look at it.
Look, do you see? Do you see how God has left us long ago?
Do you really want to look down in that face, watch it come? You really want to?
If you watch this movie, you will.
You're gonna like come out of it with a whole bunch of new horrifying fetishes you can't tell anyone about.
Basically, every other time you stream.
Yeah, exactly. But like worse. Although I could wear this on. Yeah, I could put this on. This be like my next mask, like plus. Just put on the whole thing.
It's interesting. That's where your mind went to. I could have said like, yeah, we could watch like some clips out of that. You're like, no, I could be this. Like,
Do you
girly,
lust for this creature?
is this what you want? God, you sound like the demon out of the latest Fendal tales.
I don't know that one. Is that something you'd recommend?
Oh.
Wait a minute, what is it called?
No. That all I can do here is do the following. I've turned the screen off for the chat, and I will type in Derpsicon, Fendal Tales. Always get the spelling wrong. Image. All right, this was the original. Very good animation style, but wait for the demon. Oh yeah.
Oh, that's actually pretty nice.
And you know what else? She's a shapeshifter too.
Oh.
Yep.
That's actually pretty good looking.
The Cursed Prince. Go and find that out if you want to look. She basically gives the prince a night of pleasure before killing them by making him any fetish she wishes.
Wow.
And she gets creative.
That's what a terrible way to go.
Well, terrible is an interesting term. Bump.
Yeah,
typical.
I
have girly on for less than 5 minutes, and we're already talking about sex. So
I don't know what you're talking about.
With demons.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know how that's related to me in any way.
I can't possibly imagine.
That's not in my interest pool. Please.
She has a really hot British accent too.
Oh, well.
Really now? Go ahead. Take your first try.
Oh, she does.
There we go.
Ah.
And that's just her default appearance. It gets pretty graphic. It gets amazingly fun and graphic. She's pretty. Yeah, it's cool, and it's the start of a series apparently. So.
Oh, nice. All right, we'll have to. That's first time hearing about it. I like it. I'll give it a look.
Absolutely. Anyway, back to this nightmare, which also you should have a look, but in a way that makes me judge you, in a different way, not a fun.
It's the shit that like stands in the corner of your room when you have night terrors.
Fuckable Pikachu isn't real, can't hurt you, and then it's
Yes, it can.
wandered from bedroom to bedroom looking for some new Strokemon to catch, and this strange and sexy neo-Asian yet strangely slightly
at it!
Asianless magical talking creature
What is
filled
that?
pastel-colored Fury Road-like
It's a pocket pussy.
game.
Oh,
Suddenly,
is that meant to
our
be like
hero
a?
spots something.
Is that meant to be like a Pokemon they're trying to catch? Is
Yeah,
that the?
What the
Kinda
fuck
looks
you
like a
want is
lamprey
that?
eel.
Sucky dry.
It looks like it could
Oh,
cause more
sucky
damage
dry,
in an
okay.
episode of Dr. Oz.
I'm not going anywhere near that thing. It's too close across level.
Suck you dry.
Oh.
Whip out your Pikachu and battle.
Gash, why don't you just send Dikachu in there to fight it?
What? No way, Fisty. I'll just whip out my Dikachu in public and wave it around all willy-nilly.
Why? It's your God-given right, son. It's what we fought for you. What we died for you.
That's
All
not
right, like I
what
know this is a stretch,
hear.
but I think the
Hey,
battles
man,
involve
quit busting
fucking
my
each other.
Pokeballs, okay?
You have so much foresight. It is insane.
Okay, that was just
Thank
screaming
you.
for 50 Strokes of Gray. What was I supposed to do? Not masturbate? That's crazy.
Dikachu.
Thank you, Dikachu.
You should look so depressed.
Suck you dry. Suck you dry.
Wouldn't you
First, I need to
be?
know what type of stroke.
Look at this. Look at me.
Figure out how I'm
This is
gonna
my big
capture
break. Look at me.
it. Better use your Strokodex. Hey, that's a.
She looks like a.
The credit would be Alan Smithy.
It's like Pikachu with a horrible disease.
Oh God, Pikachu have to go onto the island of Dr. Moreau.
Yes.
Good
Oh my
idea,
God.
Cox.
Yes.
I will.
It's Moreau Pikachu.
Kill
Oh, he sold her into
me.
sexual
The sucky guy.
slavery.
Suck you dry.
This Strokemon is typically found scrummaging through bedrooms for anything it can get its tonsils on.
Huh. Hey, thanks, Strokedex.
Don't mention it, bitch.
He's been binge watching Breaking Bad on the Strokedex Netflix app. Hey,
That is a great
Humor.
fucking show.
right.
Sucky dry.
All right.
We made a
Stand
reference
back.
to
I
popular
wanna catch the
culture.
Strokemon with
They
my
do that a
Strokey ball.
lot.
I don't
is
know
it
what would make you.
Because I
Say
haven't played
that.
with it in a while. That's why.
Dika, just throw it already.
How is the Pokeball not like a dildo or
Squirtle,
something?
I choose you. Use your squirt powers. Strokey ball.
Squirt.
Go. All right. I just caught a new Strokemon.
You're really good at letting your Strokemon do all the work and then throwing a ball at what you want to capture, Gash.
She must do a lot of annoying girlfriend who's also is a representation of your sister porn. Just looking at her like this, I'm like, yeah, she's a lot like, come on, man, we're friends. I don't like
This
you
is
like
so
that.
Passive aggressive. This is like the version of Misty where he hate fucks her a lot, or what?
So the default one.
Yeah.
Hey, Fisty, thanks a lot.
Dika, 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 Dika.
Oh my God.
Pikachu, Pikachu, Pikachu. Dika,
You know,
Dika, Dika.
she lost a bet.
Oh my
Dika,
God.
She had to have lost a bet.
Dika, Dika.
This is. Can we like
Oh,
help
Pikachu.
her somehow? Can
Dang.
we?
Yeah,
Just kidding, like-
is this consent? Is this consensual? I can kind of
Okay,
make an
guys.
argument with these. But...
Look, I know we've been pro porn for a long time, right? But I think it's gone too far. I think Dikachu proves we've gone too far.
I think there is perhaps truth that over time, as you get older, you become your conservative parents and go like, no, this isn't like what we used to stand for. We used to stand for something that mattered, and nowadays it's like we used to jack off the actual hot stuff. This is I don't know why.
Have I hit? Is this like my old person limit where I'm like, I'm just like too out of touch? This is what the kids are doing now? Is this what the kids are into now? That's a little weird.
May you never have a midlife crisis where you're trying to flirt on much younger men, because if you do,
Never
this
gonna
is-
happen.
This is so not what
Never
I
gonna-
don't think you could pull that look off. I'm sorry.
Even if I didn't have those proclivities, I'm scared to be in the presence of someone that finds that attractive. I mean, like when you fucking pass out, you wake up all painted yellow and shit. That's
right? Hey, all the kids are doing it now. That doesn't make it right.
That's right.
What's wrong with just a little bit of getting a strap on and putting on a
Look,
pirate suit? Like, what's
Look,
wrong with that?
consent doesn't matter if it still causes trauma, okay?
And consent can be an agreement, but not a true wanting. You know, maybe you're blackmailed. Like I said, maybe she's blackmailed. Maybe this is her parents are in the other room, and there's like Chinese triad all pointing guns at them. You know,
You want to pay your rent this month? Or yeah, the triad, sure.
What did she say?
Mao, Didi Mao.
Okay.
That I just have like a really big dick. I gotta go.
What?
Written
Where
by
are
the
you
same
going,
people who are
Pop?
doing modern
There's
Simpson
a local
jokes.
gym I want to check out. Scope out the competition.
I kind of like the look of the chick
That's a
that got
great
to play
idea, Cock.
Fisty anyway.
How about we all go with you? No! Today, Cock is going to enjoy some cock time. What?
Okay.
Whoa.
I don't know. That was a little strange, don't you think?
Does he like masturbate
think you were
off
ever
screen
gonna
a
show
lot?
up.
Is that
Sorry,
the
I'm
in
late.
joke for Brock cock?
Maybe.
Oh
wanna
wait,
show
no,
people
nurse.
As
What
we
did they?
see.
What's her name?
Yeah,
Nurse
by the time it came.
Joy.
Yeah, Jenny was the cop.
Jenny and Joy. Oh right, yeah, Jenny and Joy.
And they
the
were
twins.
clearly clones, but they all said they came from a big like Siamese, like a big multiple like families. Like, I was like, no, they're all made in a lab somewhere.
Uh,
And they don't have souls.
It's just gross
No,
incest,
you haven't
honestly.
come yet. But you will. Now turn your head and cough.
Strokemon!
Without the port, it's even less coherent. Like it looks like that's exactly what it cut to. Like stroke him.
What's happening?
Everybody looks low key sad and lost.
I feel that.
Oh yes.
Allow us to stroke-a-deuce ourselves.
No.
To screw the
Oh.
world out of masturbation.
To make sex only
alcohol,
about
take me away.
procreation.
If you want to taste
Why
a
isn't her
cum
hair
just for
sticking up at a
Then
weird
you can
angle
eat a
behind
bag
her?
of
This is
dicks.
bullshit.
Jizzy.
I want my money back.
Jams.
Team Cockett, blast off for the mole, right?
Give up now.
I
or
like the.
fucking fight.
Although I like
You ready
her,
to ruin
they
these
picked
guys
a
at their
good
prime
face
range?
for her, like a good actress to play her.
Now here's the thing: if James doesn't get pegged at all in this, I will be grossly disappointed because we all know how it goes. Not just
Oh,
in
yeah,
canon,
yeah.
but official canon. Okay, and he's very proud of that fact too. Doesn't
Hey,
change
James likes what he likes. Yeah.
Absolutely. And you know what else? He rocks those outfits better than any of the cis females in the entire show.
He looks better than fucking Jesse.
He even has a Jessie outfit, which almost certainly
Oh,
means
yeah.
that he's wearing her underwear.
Mm-hmm.
What
She
did
doesn't
she
mind.
say?
No, she's actually probably very happy to do it, but
No,
she
she's
doesn't
into
say
it.
it. Yeah, she knows there's no hope, but she still gets fun where she can.
Yeah.
You know, like, and he likes her enough because he generally does love her. They clearly love each other.
It's actually cute, like the relationship between them and Meowth. But I don't want to get into.
It's interesting you brought Meowth into this. Okay, I mean he is technically sentient, so it would be technically it could be consensual, but at the exact same time, did you not?
I feel
see
bad talking about them looking at this.
Well, after oh god, I just realized people could look into this and that stream I did where I'd rated how fuckable all the Pokemon were. I don't. I'm not saying. I'm not.
Who won?
Oh well, no. It was. I think I got 53 out of all the Pokemon. Out of all, there's 53 Pokemon. I would, in theory.
Oh, it wasn't like which one most. It was
Oh
like
no,
which ones you
no.
would.
Yes, I went
Okay.
through every single one and their variants.
Okay. Well, was Mewtwo like an easy choice?
Mewtwo was not a good choice. Well, no. I did not pick him. Even though he is a psychic Pokemon, and psychic Pokemons would give the best sexual experiences because they could.
It was very curvy too.
Yeah, but in a very sort of like almost goat sort of way, like weird alien. Which I
People
know.
like to
I
draw out of
know.
like Rule 34 with like gender bent Mewtwo too.
A lot of the ones that are gods, kind of, you would have to do so the same way the ancient Greeks would have to have sex with the gods because they'd punish you otherwise. Like
Yeah.
some of them aren't. It's not up for debate. You know, you're just going to do it because they are evolved species above you, and you're not really up for them. You're not really up
You
to
know.
resist.
You don't refuse. Well, it's like did Zeus raped some chick when he was a swan once in one
Wasn't it?
story.
and appeared as a pile of golden shower in another.
Okay, yes, that is. I don't know which of those is worse, honestly. Like Zeus just pissing on you outright, or
I always wondered what the gods got out of that, because they didn't even really expect the children, apparently. Very rarely
what?
did they plan to make the kids. Like, did they honestly get sexual gratification out of it, or is it something? Is it a power move? Is it like some spiritual thing, or did they like boost the mana? Like, what's?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there was some pleasure aspect that was probably like way above ours, like the kind of orgasm that would just like blow your mind literally.
Yeah, it'd be kind of
Um,
like doing DMT while I don't know, watching the end scene 1001: A Space Odyssey. You know,
if
you
I
wouldn't
was
be
gonna
able to
make
put it.
up like a reason, if I was gonna like make up a reason, I'd be like maybe when they fuck, they can also like absorb some measure of each other's energy or power, or chi. I don't know, something like that.
Hmm.
Um, and maybe it's like a struggle for dominance when they're fucking, when gods are fucking, because it's like who's gonna steal whose mana most or something. Except in like consensual situation. I don't know. Just
Yeah.
wondering.
The Olympian gods, that also then you had to add incest to it, but they didn't result in any freaks. They always resulted in other gods. So technically, that wouldn't really make a difference.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a very odd. It's a very odd sort of going back and forth. So if a Pokemon god, like the one that literally can control time, looks at you and was like, "Yeah," I'd be like, "I don't want to, but I guess."
Sup. Sup.
Said she's gonna.
Oh, the bedroom eyes were the main factor for me. A lot of them had come hither eyes, and they were strong come hither eyes.
What about this Pikachu? Does it have come hither eyes?
Once long ago, when it was young and innocent.
It's all fucking dark and like,
Those
ugh.
are fucking track mark on its arms. Hollywood is not being kind to this Pikachu,
Is that
okay?
what? Is that actually? That's sad.
Yeah.
Might be. Might
I,
be. I mean,
I
look at the
explain.
state of her.
I,
Look at damn.
I'm a dom, so I understand the idea of pain in the bedroom, but something tells me some of those were not consensual. All we need now is like like finger hands around the neck, you know? Just be like,
Oh God.
oh, right?
Ooh.
Hey, but for the record, I know tons of women who like that. I cannot possibly no. I do not feel
No,
comfortable at all. That's a netty no no from me.
I gotta tell you, like, all the other, the BDSM stuff is fine, but oxygen play of any sort for me, no,
Yeah,
absolutely not.
or knives. Fuck no.
Yeah, knives, fire, oxygen
Guns.
play, guns. Yeah, I mean, Jesus Christ, I saw somebody posted up a fucking porn vid where they posted up consensual drowning.
Mm-hmm.
Consider, what are you fucking doing? Anyway, morons.
This is where it goes between oh well it's weird but it doesn't hurt anyone to no this is genuine this is kink shaming for a reason like this is a
Well,
red
I got to
flag.
explain from I got to explain from a medical point of view, right? And that I kind of made a joke about this earlier, but it actually does apply in real life. And that even if you say, oh, it's consensual, because this video that this girl posted, right? There were a lot of people telling her what we're saying now, that that's actually really dangerous. It's not considered really kosher in the BDSM community, but you're fucking drowning some chick too, like horrible. And the girl responds with, oh, it's fine, it's consensual and stuff. The thing is, though, your brain can't really differentiate between what's consensual and not. You're still going to get physically and emotionally traumatized by what you're going through. It's still going to happen to you. And you
Hmm.
still have a very high risk of brain damage, if not outright death.
Doesn't take
So
very long
that's,
for someone to die
yeah.
from
Yeah.
oxygen withdrawal to the brain.
Yeah.
Not to mention the fact that if, for example, you're doing the choking thing, it doesn't take very much pressure to damage the throat.
No.
Or the spine for that matter. And if you fuck your spine up anywhere near your head, yeah, you'll die. You'll like your brain will
Yeah.
just break down. This is I knew a girl who wanted me to do donkey punch with her at one point, and I
Oh,
was like, no, why the fuck would you want me to do that? And she pointed to a movie she saw, and she's like, that was fun. I was like, it's intense. The whole premise of it is that they're on a boat. She's fucking twisted. He donkey punches her. She dies, and then the rest of them all start killing each other one by one and dumping their bodies in the ocean.
Can you imagine explaining it to the police later? Yeah, it was consensual.
idea, man.
It was her idea, officer. You got to explain it to some of these people that they see this shit.
Explain it to
That's
their
why stuff
fucking
like
parents,
fucking
Jesus.
50 Shades of Grey gave birth to a whole generation of people that do not get it.
Nope.
Tony Danza.
Dika.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Dika.
holy shit.
Meow.
Those meows.
Oh, yeah, that's that liquid is
What is that?
That's the elect. Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my
You shouldn't
god.
stroke them up too much.
Oh, we're all covered in cum.
I feel like a Kardashian.
I wonder if
home
they're
video.
actually showering them with
You want some
condoms.
more?
Dika.
That'd be impressive control on her end.
Maybe they just kept like a water. You know the super soakers from the 90s? Maybe they just had
Yeah,
one
they
of
just
those.
they just have a pump off stage going,
Just
which would apply very well in the situation.
fill it with cum right before.
No,
No,
thank you.
Hey, it's us. It represents us for this entire thing. No, thank you.
It's the audience, yeah. There it goes. I just want to tell that
was pretty
Pikachu to
brave.
stand the fucking
Ah,
up
there's
straight.
nothing.
That's bothering me.
I know.
Yeah,
Stand
that's
up
straight.
Pikachu.
Huh?
Well, it seems like my hero and her sidekick deserve a hero's present.
Sidekick?
Just shut up and whip out your strokey balls.
Well, alright. Then you better show me your Bulbasaur.
Your Bulbasaur, eh?
I wonder how
Beautiful.
much. I wonder how much people paid money to see this. Like, I wonder
I
how
just
much
want
it goes for. Like 30, how much per DVD? Because guess what? I could have gotten a large pizza with that, and then I could have set the pizza on fire. That would have been a better use of my time.
There's a human out there, probably a dude, let's be fair, that has like the entire collection of this label. Got like custom made action figures of Pikachu, he covered in cum in a jar and shit.
Justin Wang's going to be doing a review on that guy pretty soon.
On the jar dude?
There, because he did one on the Brony. With the he actually had an interview.
Oh, he
with
does like
Yeah.
really like an action.
An
Wow.
actual interview. Yes, with the Brony jar person. That was
What the fuck do you? Why
yeah.
did you do it? What brand of jar did you use?
Well, do the Mason Jar Association of America know that you use one of their official jars in this iconic scene?
Have you considered writing to them asking if they would like to use you for future representation? You put your
It keeps anything in and out. Anything.
freshness.
It wasn't fresh by the time it was found.
Mm.
I mean, he actually kept that behind a radiator.
Oh god.
Why do you that's why it looked like the way it looked.
Is
You
this
actually
that
got to see Kevin.
incidental?
Yeah, because he did What Is Man to See.
Yeah, that reminds me of the coconut dude. Did you read about the coconut dude?
Bosh. Hey. No. No. I've heard of the coconut dude. I don't know.
He fucked a coconut like one might fuck a pie, and then he fucked it so many times in like the summer heat, left it in his room. It developed maggots, and then he fucked it again without realizing it. And then he puked everywhere and broke the cum-filled coconut in his bedroom. So you can imagine the smell. And his folks weren't home, so he's freaking out, having to like in a panic, screaming, crying, and vomiting, having to clean all this shit up before his folks get home. So I don't know if you ever fucked another coconut after that, but I hope you learn to like keep them fresh.
This is why I bring you on for hard-hitting news no one else will talk about.
I'm gonna have like story time with Girly. And just
Right.
tell you the fucked up Reddit shit I've read every once in a while.
In that case, do you know who Bloodfly Girl is?
Yes.
Yeah.
Who? Oh God.
That was a case
I
of
can
someone
only.
If she was real, she was.
Please
like,
no. I hope not.
a
I
very
don't know.
sad, broken. She made one final post, didn't she, explaining that she's starting to go to therapy and even had to get institutionalized for a little while.
I haven't really. I've only ever read the original story, and I never really followed up
There were
after that. But
follow-ups. She had
I
relapses.
just wanted to pretend that it was fake. It was so destructively awful. Like,
Yeah. This is
I
the
don't know.
world that we live in right now, or
Like
have always lived in, and we just have the ability to know about it.
I just feel sorry for a girl like that. You know, I can't even imagine myself in the state of mind where I'd be in that situation, and I'd not only be okay with it, I'd be aroused by it. That like you need help. That's
It
true. I'm glad if she sought therapy, if that was real.
Yeah. Like the way I got from it was it was so much self-hate, but there was like a level of like self-awareness that she didn't want to kill herself, so she just
Yeah.
wanted to hurt herself in the most disgusting ways possible, and she did.
I guess it beats killing yourself, but God, the effects she suffered. Ugh.
When she was in
Medically,
hospital, I don't. Yeah, when she
yeah,
was in hospital, I don't know if she thought that was.
awful.
Yeah. There's no, there's like this is where like urban legends get their start from. The idea of like gay guys putting gerbils up their asses and stuff like that. Someone probably did it once, and you have to wonder why.
I
Why?
never want to be the X-ray technician that puts that X-ray up on the fucking wall and is like, "What is that?" And you realize, I don't want to be that guy. And then, like, how
Uh,
do you broach the subject with the patient then?
very
Excuse me, did you
carefully.
ever own a pet gerbil? Okay, out of left field, you ever own a pet gerbil? How is that related? Um, you lose him recently? Anything you want to tell me?
I do recall in some hospitals, like at the Christmas party, they do get like the choice X-rays, and then they kind of shove them around. But that was like years ago. Well, like when they're really drunk, they're like, "Can you believe this guy put a hammer up his ass?" Or like, "Look, I found this bullet, and it looks like a little heart right next to his actual little heart." Ah. Like stuff like crazy stuff like that. But I don't.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not Billy the Fridge. I don't believe every story I hear just from random like passersby.
Some of the shit
So
you hear, you hope it's not real. Like Blowfly Girl, you know?
Uh, um, uh, but at the exact same time, uh, like other ones are just clearly up for kind of like interpretation. We're getting a guy on pretty soon in the next few weeks for Bearded
Mhm.
Ramblings. Walter Fate. You ever hear about him?
Walter what?
Walter Fate or Fatal Walter.
No, that's
Walter.
new to me.
He does
Let's see.
reviews of Nice Guys. Must be the
Oh,
older one. Yeah. And
that's
like
an
incels.
interesting.
Uh,
Like the concept or actual
yeah,
people?
stories on it. Like I'll show you one of his
Oh,
videos because
okay, sure.
he's going to be a guest on in the next few weeks.
Okay, that's cool.
He's very cool. We might have Naira back for that one as well because she's
Hey,
a big fan. And when I told her, she's like, "Ooh," and I'm like, "Do you want to be on as well?" And so we just have to pin down. He's moving.
Walter Fate. I'm gonna check that out because that sounds fun.
everyone. This is Walter, and I'm back here to talk about nice guys once again.
Good voice.
Nice guys mostly being guys who go on
Yeah.
about how nice they are all the time. But then they turn out to
Throwing
not be
shade.
He's. I've heard worse.
very nice. You'll see if you don't already.
He reminds you of Charlie, but like Charlie if Charlie was stoned. You know, like. Hey, what? Oh, have you heard his new song? Critical's new song.
No. Oh, I haven't checked in with
One
him.
nipple at a time. Fuck yeah! Him and Knox did a cross. Oh,
Beautiful. I haven't checked in with him actually since the Breck Keane thing.
really?
Since that song, yeah. I'd watched like a bunch of others, but I just kind of forgot about him after that. I don't know.
What? Hold on. Critical?
Yeah.
He did a Brett Keane
Wait,
thing.
are we? Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I'm thinking of someone else here. I was thinking of somebody else, not Critical. I know who Critical is. Sorry, I got the two
I
mixed
remember
up.
you said that you were a fan of him. So
Yeah.
I really like the beat. It's just a very quick little thing.
So let's just begin with nice guys from Reddit. This story comes.
Oh, one time on one of these, he actually showed TJ.
Oh my god.
I know.
Wait a minute. Did somebody actually post about TJ on Nice
No,
Guys?
they just used that
Okay.
as an example of a neck beard because he's also done neck beard. This is also where I discovered the leg beard, the female equivalent. Once again, the term bloatfly girl might have to come into play again. Oh, it was
So that's from
bad.
Reddit Nice Guy Stories, which is a great place to leave any stories you might have about nice guys.
Yeah,
I'll be trying to check the subreddit more often. Nice guy at university. I don't know if this counts as a nice guy, but I don't know where else to put this. I've read ahead. This guy is definitely a nice guy. I'll start by saying
I
I
think
didn't
he
really
was
help
not a nice
myself,
guy,
being a
that guy
naive
in that clip.
18-year-old who spent a good 6
No.
years in an all-girls school and therefore had no experience with men.
Uh-oh.
I, 18 female, met a guy, Ram, 22 male, through an app used to connect university students. It wasn't the best as it glitched out quite a lot, but I figured as long as I wasn't utterly alone at university, then it would be worth it. Ram would be an international student from India, and he was going to do his master's. I told him that I'm Indian too, but I was born and raised here, so I don't really know a lot about India or the culture.
I see where this is
We
going.
exchanged Snapchats, and it seemed to be pretty normal. He would message me every morning. I'm pretty sure he would wait until it was morning for me sometimes. After a bit, it started to get weird. He started asking me for pictures of myself to see what I looked like, even though there were pictures of me on my profile in the app. And he even tried to get me to send a full-length picture of myself. I refused to do this for him, and he got upset and said that I could make it better by sending him a picture of me blowing a kiss at him. I asked one of my friends...
Bobs and Vagines, anyone? I'm getting strong Bobs and Vagines vibes.
Now you're
what to do about
performing
Ram,
monkey,
and she
bitch.
told me to weird him out by talking about astrology. This completely backfired as he
Not the first time you ever told that about me.
decided that astrologically there was a high chance of us dating since our horoscopes went very well together.
Oh, yeah.
However, I told him that both
Oh,
astrologically
great.
and scientifically, there would be no chance of us ever being anything more than friends.
Oh!
I asked him about all the times he hit on me later, and he said that he was just trying to
friend zone
impress
shit, by
me.
the way. Try being in the fuck
would
zone for a
sometimes-
change.
Yeah.
Try being fuck zoned.
Hey, we
Friend
all
zone. Fuck you.
Yeah. You know what? I've never found being friends with women bad because I've always just gotten along better with women than men. So I always seek female friendship more than I seek.
Well, that's because you're a fucking normal human. If you fall into this friend zone crap bullshit, it's because you enter into a friend relationship with a chick because you want to get in her pants. If that's what you want, then just be straightforward. Don't be a little bitch. You know, make your interest obvious instead of just playing the part of her friend.
And
Because I
then
promise you, if a chick picks up on the fact that like you're interested, she'll either let you know or not, like directly. She will, unless she's I'm not saying there aren't chicks that are bitches, just like there's dudes that are bitches, okay? But like she'll let you know. If not, then you're just being too low key, playing the part of her friend until she dumps her boyfriend or whatever. Don't be a bitch.
yeah, kind of waiting in the shadows like a fucking bat in the
Yeah.
night, a fucking vulture waiting to jump on the corpse.
Exactly.
For me, like also the great thing about friendship with women is that it's never really stopped me from also occasionally waking up next to them. It's not really something I go into. Like here's the thing, I always just treat women the same way as I treat men, but I don't want to have sex with men. I do want to have sex with women. It's just an extra caveat. The real problem is if I fall in love with them. That's the iffy part. But it's almost never with these guys. With these guys, they just want to usually save the women, or they just want to fuck them, like you said.
Oh yeah.
And the savior complex part is fucking bullshit. I never understood that part, mostly because, well, I'm in no position to save fucking anyone. Look at me. Look how I live. Look how I act. And yeah, I'm still happy. So I often want to share that happiness around, and that's when I start trying to pull in friends and occasionally lovers. So for me, I think at the risk of sounding like I'm tooting my own horn and stroking my colossal dick, I think I have a better attitude than these fucking incel motherfuckers.
No, I agree. I've been in that exact situation. I've had friends like that too, because they were fucking cool, and I got it, and I understood what it was about. They weren't low key playing to me like my friend or anything. Like I knew what it was about, and we could be friends therefore, and whatever else.
Absolutely.
You just be straightforward.
I think actual Jake said it best. Just don't be weird, brah.
Yeah.
Just don't be weird. You're being weird. It's fucking weird, brah.
About his problems. I would to listen, more like read to them, but I still tried to remain distant. I felt rude for wanting to ghost him, but figured that I would just keep him at a distance. Although at one point he asked me to help him get rid of an erection because apparently he didn't know what to do. I told him that I didn't know what to do either, and he said that as a science student I should know. I still refused to do anything for him, and he got upset.
I'll tell you what you do. I'll tell you what you do.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what you do. You knock it against the fucking drawer next to you as hard as you can several times. It'll help you right out. That's what you tell him to do.
Hear that? That's the sound of problems going away, kids.
fucking, I have an erection and I don't know what to do. How do you even find that? How do you even think anyone's gonna find you attractive? That sounds so pathetic and
Oh my!
weird.
It almost seems like he just he just escaped from like a house that had like no windows and no internet and no like phones or anything access
I've
for like
never
20
even
years.
seen my own penis. I don't know. Tell me what this is. Tell me what it is. What's it doing there?
Oh no, my pee-pee has rigor mortis. I must be dying.
Can you
Bad
imagine
person,
that?
and that it's natural to have an erection.
And he was 22? Yeah.
He
22
didn't want me to
fucking
do
Christ.
anything bad either. I still told him that I wouldn't be helping him. Oh, that's got to be a new one. This guy's 22, going for his
Jonah
master's
Jameson.
degree, and here he is asking
He loves
this
a lot of these
to a
gifts.
girl who already told him.
I showed you my penis. Please respond.
This guy's got a better approach.
Hey, at least he's more upfront.
Yeah, this guy might. I don't know.
I mean, he looks like a thumb. He looks like a Mr. Potato Head, but it's Mr. Thumb Head instead that you put stuff on.
He does kind of. He does a little bit, yeah. It's very concerned thumb.
Rich from Review Tech did a very similar picture, and I made this quote, and everyone liked it, but him. He did not like the comparison, but his fans did.
At university, he had to isolate, so he couldn't go out to get food or anything. He didn't know anyone when he got there, since he had to stay in his room for 2 weeks and not interact with anyone in his flat. This meant that he ended up begging me to buy him things, as I was the only one he knew at that time. He said he wanted a universal adapter and some food, milk, bread, eggs. I told him I didn't know where I could get him an adapter, but I could get him the food he asked for. I told him that I would...
Why not just go with well, here? If you're meeting with them, right? Like you've been in foreign countries, you've had to deal with the language barrier and different ways of doing. If you have a friend, like they should show you what to do once, and then if you're an adult, you do it from there.
This guy knows what he's fucking doing. He knows how to go. Yeah, yeah. This is ridiculous. Just the fact that it worked on, like, I don't know, he's not that far along yet. If this worked on this girl is so depressing.
No, they almost never work. In fact,
I don't know if it. I hope not.
I think I've remembered 2 or 3 where they gave them pity sex.
I'll tell you where to get your
I would give it
groceries, bitch.
his accommodations reception so the staff could bring it to him, but he said he wanted me to come directly to his room.
This guy's goldmine, by the way.
I told him that it wouldn't be a good idea while he's in isolation, but he insisted it would be fine and it wasn't breaking the rules. I still said that I would give his things to the reception. Either way.
Oh, he also goes on a constant war with Lucas Werner, if you know who that is.
I don't. Is that like a similar channel or something?
He's a massive lolcow. He's the guy who attacked a woman in Starbucks after writing her a creepy note. Got on the news and everything for like 2 weeks. Geek Room often go after him and stuff like that.
The way he seemed grateful.
He's his own.
He said he wanted bed sheets and pillows too, but I told him I couldn't help him with that because I didn't have enough money to cover those items. How I found out about. Later on, he ended up begging me to go to a Freshers Week event with him. I told him that I had plans to go somewhere else, even though it was a lie. He still continued begging until I gave in. He asked me to meet him outside his accommodations at 11 p.m. and he showed up around 20 minutes late with a bunch of new friends. At the event, we met someone called AJ, who became a mutual friend. A few weeks later, AJ invited me to his birthday, but I ended up leaving early because of Ram, who kept trying to hold my hand. The next day, he asked me about where I went and who I was with, whether they were boys or girls. After I left,
your business.
He then got upset when I didn't want to.
Oh, I went to an orgy where everyone had bigger penises.
That's
what asking. I might even be pregnant. We were not going to name it after you, by the way, unless it's really weird looking.
To go to a nearby beach, which was about 15 miles away, or let him make me food since I had plans to go out with some of my friends.
Jesus, don't let him make you food, honey.
It's painful watching this guy repeatedly try to hold her hand when she doesn't want to.
Do you want
oh my god, I think these names are pronounced Ram and Ajay. I've been making a fool of myself with my not knowing Indian names. Anyway, I'll try to get that right now. I hung out with Ajay and Ram again, but I left early. I told Ram that I could only stay for a few hours at the most, but even after a few hours had passed, he wanted me to stay more.
Jesus Christ,
he wasn't trying to touch me or hold my hand then, at least.
Just enact your boundaries, sweetheart. You're not into it.
Because I got busy with studying, which meant that he would get upset if I didn't.
This is what we need to teach people, young boys and young girls, everyone.
Yeah.
The idea of boundaries.
Everybody.
No, Yeah, sex ed should cover this because this is obviously a thing related to sex. Because it's also things related to, well, this guy having feelings and he's expressing them in a very no sort of way, and her not on her side, the worst thing she's doing is not being more upfront and being like, dude, fuck off.
I absolutely agree. I mean, that's part of the reason that it's got so out of hand in some regard is now we're having like people drowning each other and conflating that as BDSM and trying to excuse it away as, oh no, it's still consensual. No, fucking just enact, for the love of God, just put down some boundaries down.
Didn't speak
Jesus,
to him
it's
or reply to
okay.
his messages every day. He sent me a paragraph
I
about
will say this though, I have been my current partner has told me about some stories where she gave out numbers that, and I was like, oh, fake numbers, and it was like, no, my number, and I was like, why didn't you give out? Oh, and she wouldn't mind if I told any of these.
Yeah. All right.
I wouldn't otherwise.
Sure.
And she was like, I gave out fake numbers, and I'm like, oh, why didn't you a real number? And I'm like, why didn't you give out fake numbers? It's like, well, he'd probably then call it right then and there, and if not, he'd get very angry at me. And I was alone, and I was
Oh,
like,
damn.
yeah, those are situations that women have been kind of unfortunately trained to do, where they're kind of
Mhm.
like they have to put on the fake smile and the fake sort of half
Piece of
facial
advice
interest.
to give to her if she's like in a situation. There are apps that you can put on to your phone where it'll call your phone, but it's not your number, and then you just delete the app or the number you've registered, the fake number, and then he doesn't have access to calling your phone anymore. I don't know what the names
Oh,
of the apps are, but just some advice for situations like that.
hope she's
Because
never in one again.
I've been in that situation myself, so I know what that's like. And that, yeah, I haven't since either, but it's just good to have on hand anyway.
That's good to know. I will
how he
pass
thought
that
I was
along.
going to be a good
Yeah.
friend when we first met, and that he didn't have any friends at university. I hung out with just Rom twice after that, and then I decided that I didn't want anything to do with Rom anymore. The first time Rom wanted me to drink beer with him, I tried telling him that I hate the taste of it, which is true, but he told me that the beer
Lame. Don't like this woman at all now. I dislike her incredibly.
he had was good. I still hated it. He started complaining that I wasn't drinking my beer fast enough, which resulted in me getting slightly tipsy. He told
You're
me
not
he
getting
wanted me to
drunk
give him a
quick
hug,
enough.
but when I
Isn't this a mini game in Leisure Suit Larry? The one that
Well,
isn't allowed
yeah.
in certain countries.
did, he
What
told me
the
it wasn't a
fuck?
proper one. He wanted me to lie down on his bed and cuddle with him. I really did not want to, but he tried, and since he was a lot bigger than me, I couldn't do much about it.
Uh-oh.
As I was trying to get him off me, he started filming me and put it on his Snapchat story. I asked him if he could delete it, but he said that he didn't see an issue with what he posted.
That's when I took the phone and shoved it up his ass.
Managed to stand up, he was upset
Try
that
to
I didn't
fake
want to
that
give him
they're
a
in a
proper
relationship
hug.
or some shit.
I got a bit angry and said that I didn't want to cuddle with him in bed. He said that it was just a hug and it's what friends do together. I still said no, and he
Yeah, when we're all
Hey.
high on E and we've known each other and we have weird
Uh,
feelings that we can't quite express.
Look, I
Oh.
can't tell you the number of times my girlfriends have gotten me blind drunk against my will to cuddle me without my consent. It's all part of the friendship, all right? I'll keep these
This is
friends.
just what adults do. Now,
Yeah.
just saying that though, don't tell your parents or you'll get in trouble.
said that I didn't know what a proper hug was. I got a bit more angry and stupidly said, "What is a proper hug then? Because what you were doing wasn't one." He said that I couldn't get angry with him and pulled me onto his bed with him and wrapped his arms around me.
We got ourselves a little bit of the old or word. Boom, boom, boom. Nettie,
That's
no,
where you
no.
choose violence. You
That's
just
where
choose
you
violence.
grab a lamp and he's causing concussion.
Man, this guy's a real scumbag. He's not only the one pushing drinks on girls, but he's also the where's my hug kind of guy. Excellent.
Gross.
I tried to get him off me and saw that he had a boner. He said that it was perfectly natural and that I shouldn't be scared.
And this is when I was glad I was in America and pulled out my 9mm gun and pointed it at his temple. He didn't have a boner after that.
He tried to get me to sit on his lap while he had the erection,
Oh,
and he managed
God.
to hold me down
Sit
while I
on
tried to
his
get
lap.
off him.
This guy's
I
unreal.
told him that I felt like it was getting a bit too late for me and that I
This sounds like the opening of a rape scene. There's no
Yeah.
other way around this.
What in
Like,
the fuck?
wanted to go
Even by nice guys from Reddit stories, this is fucking heavy.
back to my
Yeah.
accommodation.
Unfortunately, not the heaviest.
He
This
got a
is
bit
more
upset and
let's
told
not
me that it
meet than
wasn't
nice
late and that I
guys,
should
I'll be
stay for a
honest.
few more hours at least. For some reason, I thought that it was my fault and that I hadn't set boundaries clear
Yeah.
enough, or being a bit tipsy made me not
Oh
think
my god,
straight.
yes. Fucking...
Yeah, and it begins all
Well,
the
you didn't
wrong
set
nights.
boundaries, but it's not your fault.
No one probably taught you how to set boundaries.
Yeah.
I agreed to meet him a second time.
Yeah.
As soon as I got into his
Okay,
room,
lady.
he picked up 2
No.
glasses and a big can of beer. I told him that I didn't want any at all
You
because I
don't
didn't
agree.
want to
You,
drink.
oh,
He said that
you know,
was
there's
fine.
a
and I
difference between, like, some people might criticize me saying you didn't set boundaries and be like, well, she was in a compromised position. She was afraid with him in the room and stuff. He's bigger than her. That's absolutely right. You know, like your girlfriend who had to give away her number to the guy so he didn't get violent. But then you left. Then you left, and then you don't go back. And if this guy comes around, you have your friends around you, or you go and file I mean, at this point, I'd be filing a police report.
Yeah, I'd have
If he was
told my
fucking
friend.
following me
I
around.
would have.
Yeah.
I don't know what sort of position at home they were. There was a religious family or what? Because I know
Yeah.
they're Indian. Maybe they have a thing where she'd basically be called all manner of insults, like it was her fault.
No, the way
But
she explained it, I'm sorry, just to cut in, just to clarify it.
yeah,
At the beginning, she says, and this is a problem. I've worked with a lot of, especially Desi Americanized girls, and this is apparently a big problem that a lot of the guys in these cultures are so babied, particularly by their mothers and stuff, that any concept of boundary, they don't give a shit. And they'll just get away with whatever they want to get away with because they're used to it. And by no means is this a blanket statement. It's just some experience I've been informed of by people that actually have experienced it. So that's my 2 cents. But yeah, this girl mentioned at the very beginning that she had been born in and grown up in America.
and
And
he
this guy had
wasn't
been
apparently.
no.
He's reached.
So, and then immediately I saw what the issue might be there, and that's largely a part of that. So I'm sort of surprised actually that she isn't able. I don't know her situation, but that does she feel pressured to go back and see him? Like, what's the, I don't get it.
Hot take.
Yeah.
I prefer Western culture in that regard. I think we're a little bit better
Oh yeah.
if their culture
Sorry.
promotes stuff like this. Sorry, I'll take Western imperialism all day long because we have this idea called consent.
Yeah.
So like,
Look, I'll only quote. I worked with 3 different Desi girls. 2 of them were sisters, and I'll quote this one girl, more or less, who basically said that she married her American husband and basically left the country because her entire family, tried to ostracize her, pressure her, force her, and stuff, and that she would never marry one of these guys that had grown up steeped in that culture because basically they're taught that they are kings in whatever situation. And that's why you get guys like this that are just like, nah, everything me, 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 me. That's at the very least, you got a selfish asshole. At most, you got a rapist.
yeah. And then when it does happen, bad, the community kind of shuts it down because it couldn't have been the man's fault because that would set a bad precedent. It said it's the woman's fault, or it's
And
no fault
everybody
and no one
suffers.
ever. Yeah. Here's the thing though, in
Yeah.
that regard, that is just all Abrahamic and most non-Abrahamic communities anyway, because that also included a lot what the Catholic Church did. That's what the Magdalene sisters were all about. They shuffled them off to a lot of girls who were raped. They were
Oh
clearly
yeah.
whores and
The
Jezebels.
laundromats, right? They were like
Yeah,
laundromats, a
that
lot of
was their
those.
official job. Their
Yeah.
unofficial job was to move out a bunch of women that would be very problematic for good families to talk about.
I saw a movie once actually based on a true story about some girls held at one of these and just their incredibly sad story. And yes, again, this was based on real girls that were kept there. One of them had been raped. One of them had had a baby out of wedlock. Another was just mentally ill because she was getting molested or whatever. Another was just horny and masturbating because she was like at the age, and that's at a normal rate, but she still got shipped off. Um, it's
Yeah.
just fucked up. It's just
No,
fucked up.
you know what the last one closed? 1991.
Yeah, and they used to get that's amazing to me, by the way, and they were still getting like horribly molested and abused and shit.
Mhm.
The
There's
fucking nuns love it.
about 2 years ago, they openly admitted there was an unmarked grave where all the babies that had been born out of wedlock, they also had then been very, very quickly smothered in the crib,
I,
and they were buried. So there was about 30 babies.
Jesus.
Yeah,
Wasn't there a case in Canada for that?
the Native Americans.
Yes, yeah, the
Yeah, that was fairly
recent
recent.
one. Yeah.
That was much more than 30. That was
Yes,
150, if
that
I
was
remember
enough.
right.
That was yeah,
Yeah.
and I think they were still maybe counting. So
Hmm.
I haven't checked back, but yeah.
Hey, maybe religion isn't a great idea when it comes down to morals.
What?
Just a
No. How do
hot.
you have a moral system without it? That's an argument. I don't know. How do
have
I
to if I
have
didn't want
morality
to,
without
but
it?
poured beer into the 2 glasses and handed one
Can you tell we're old atheists from a different time in the internet's history?
Yeah.
Well, gather around, children, and let Father Energy and Mother Reds tell you about the time of high adventure and tipping fedoras.
Yum, yum, yum.
to
Oh
me.
God,
I told him that I had told him I didn't want to
I don't
drink,
miss those days, though.
but he said it was just 1 glass of beer and
You
pushed it
don't
Same.
into
want
my
to start
hand.
ranting about
I
atheism
told him that I
again? What?
wasn't
I think the Thunderfoot era is dead for a reason. Okay.
Yeah.
going to drink it at all, and I would just hold it in my hand.
The good parts.
He said that was fine, but a
Don't you
few
fucking
moments
drink
later
that.
got upset that I wasn't drinking any beer. He tried to pressure me into it, but I stuck with what I said before and told him I wasn't going to drink any.
Yeah.
He said he just liked sharing his things and that he was a nice guy. He said the same when he offered me food, which I refused. Yes,
The food all has like needles and pills. They're all
You
candy. It's all candy. It's strange looking
didn't even bother
candy.
hiding
mark
it.
of a nice
It's just
guy,
like
plying
there.
younger girls with alcohol. I know she's 18, but this guy's being pretty predatory here. He wanted to watch a movie together, and I said sure because it didn't seem like anything dodgy. I have a lot of
What
male
the
friends,
fuck,
and their idea of
honey?
watching a movie is just watching a movie and nothing else.
What are you talking
We
about?
were both
Oh.
sitting down, and he tried to cuddle me again. I told him to stop, and he would agree to stop and then try again.
Ah!
There's a blast from the
I did
past.
not. Oh, wow. You want to talk about that for a second?
Yeah, let's talk
Have
about
you
it.
she's back home now, right? She was in the hospital. His mom,
Yeah.
her mom, I don't even know. I mean, whatever. The
Do-
rapist's mom
Yeah.
is back in the
Or
hospital.
just Chris's. It's still got
Chris Chan,
It's
Chris, yeah.
short for whatever you want. It's a nice little.
I guess so, yeah. And Chris is still in jail, or
Yeah, been releasing letters by the truckloads now explaining what it is. They're starting a new faith. Again, I
oh
think it was.
no.
I think it was. It was Walter here has actually like shown some of the letters out of there, but they doxed their location for the 50th time and asked people to send their mother as like care packets of food, very specific food, also food for the dog because they can't look after themselves. Which that's not going to cause some problems. Hey, why don't you post them on Kiwi Farms while you're at it? Oh, I'm sure they already know.
God.
Yeah, it's here's a little nugget of information if I remember right. For a short time before they were moved, the same prison held both uh Christian and the the QAnon shaman.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, yeah,
Well, there you go.
they got moved and the shaman got moved briefly after. They're both in Virginia, if I remember right.
Huh.
Um,
Y-
that's once again what
Yeah,
the
I mean,
internet can
last
do to
I
you.
checked in with Chris, they were like making demands of the judge right before or like right after sentencing or something about getting all their
Yeah,
toys in.
yeah, they wanted all their stuff, which would include all like their Pokemon cards and fucking Legos and shit like that.
Let's be honest, they need to be in like inpatient care forever.
I think they are getting good treatment. They're apparently being
Yeah.
treated for or hanging out around the Islamic community in prison. Because
Huh.
they got they go to prayer meetings. They're not actually like Muslim, but it's just probably a very safe environment.
Give it time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh God. The Islam Chandler arc.
Oh no.
Oh
That would
no.
be so weird. I wonder how they'd marry that with the whole dimensional merge. How's
Oh,
Remember
because
that one?
yeah, where
Yeah.
all the
All our cartoon characters and fictional characters and shit are gonna party down with it, but only some of us. Only
yeah.
the ones Chris likes. So you and I are dead.
So
So
so it's like the Rapture, but done in the style of League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
exactly. Yeah.
Which I've only recently like discovered the sheer hell arc of how deep that lore goes. The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, how many connections? Because
Oh
Kyle
yeah.
Palgreen posted out like the entire Alan Moore story, like every
You
one of
read
them.
the graphic like
Yeah, the
novels?
grapples. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of rape in that too, and
Oh
there was
yeah.
and there's
The
also
invisible man.
yeah. Oh,
Invisible man.
Doctor Hyde. Doctor
Yeah.
Hyde. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
1984 was also an interesting choice because here's one thing they never really show. They never show picking themselves up after the fascist government has toppled. You're in a post 1984 world,
Yeah.
which is a very interesting idea.
Well, that's oh wait, are we talking about 1984 now or still in reference to
Uh,
League?
to League. No, yeah,
Okay.
there's an entire series where the events of 1984 happened. Oceania, all that
Oh, I
shit
must have
happened.
missed that one.
Yeah, but now you get to see it after the fact, and the societies are starting to rebuild again.
Oh, that actually makes it because I enjoyed Weirdly Macabre the movie, and I always liked the theory of whether or not like anyone was really at war or if they were actually just pumping propaganda to all
Mm.
the citizens to keep them,
I think the sad fact
placated.
is that they probably do have a inner core of
Yeah.
people who are like the top tier that not even the inner party know about, and
Mhm.
they have been spread the lie. And in reality, the inner core is like the top like five rulers of every single country that just kind
Yeah.
of like control everything and have their own sort of council that then they spread out to the outer core parties and then the inner core parties and the outer core parties and then the plebs. Um,
Right.
but here's the thing: at this point now, this Byzantine level of control was no longer necessary. By the time of the events of 1984, the damage was done. Like the humanity had gone too far past this, to be able to fix itself. There was just these little threads that need to be trimmed, and that was it. Humanity was
And
ready to prepare to be stamped on for all eternity because that's what it wanted.
like that was the storyline. So were they helping to save them or like what was the
Because it was also tied into the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen thing. A lot of the
Yeah.
characters that existed in League also are basically, Charlie Chaplin's movie, The Great Dictator.
Yes. Yeah.
That's Big Brother.
Oh,
Yeah. Charlie Chaplin's
okay.
character, yeah, and that society gets reformed along with the help of MI6, basically James Bond, to create a totalitarian society. So Oceania rules, but then it gets toppled, and then as everyone's repairing itself, it's two characters from earlier in the book series, the daughter of Captain Nemo and the one who gets Alan Moored a lot on the dock. And then I forget who else, someone else, and they're going through
Mhm.
the old Oceania documents looking for these very important people who are still
Cool.
in hiding, and it gives you a flashback to like times under Oceania and how the whole thing is connected. Like here's the thing though, I have to stress, the world after a while continuity, it's kind of like the 40K universe. It's not really a requirement. Like there's no way you can place everything together flawlessly. It just is. I mean, at one point
Yeah.
they go to Ryloth and nuke it. James Bond nukes Ryloth to reset the timeline. Whoa,
Well,
ooh, with Moriarty as well.
Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah. They had the
Yeah,
Jack the Ripper run on. Yeah.
yeah.
Not the Jack, the Sherlock Holmes, but they did have a Jack the Ripper run, didn't they?
They had,
I'm
if you can think of a character, they almost always appear. Near the end of it, nearly every character that appeared up in media, both classic and more contemporary stuff appears. And here's the crazy stuff of it. At the one point, right near the end, I think it is Moriarty. He tries to break down all realities by flooding. He creates every fictional character. He wants every fictional character that's ever existed, down to someone's imaginary friend, to come
Mhm.
out of and take over the world because as he puts it, No, it's one of the guys from a Shakespeare play. The old guy on the rock for Midsummer Night's Dream.
Not
Uh,
not the goat thing? The goat
no,
old
ass. Yeah.
him.
Bottom. No, not bottom. No, he's the old he's this old
It's been a while since I've seen that play.
sailor who tries to recreate a better world after he gets washed up on this perfect paradise world, and it kind of starts from there. But like,
Right.
I might be mixing up Midsummer Night Dream with something else. Anyway, he has this idea in his head to. Oh, and chat, if I'm fucking things up, which I'm almost certain I am, please correct me, both now and in comments after. If I remember right, he basically he becomes like self-aware that he's a part of a story, so he wants to break down all realities because, as he says it, um why not be in control of your own destiny? And if
Mhm.
this is where destinies are made, then I want to be in control of it. So he basically just levels the playing field. In the process, reality breaks down. It fails. Everything resets. Everything goes back into storylines. It's very vague because at the end of it, it becomes an Alan Moore "fuck you" comic book story as they go to a
Mhm.
retirement home for old superheroes, where you get to see one of the kids who eventually became Shazam, like Captain Marvel. He's just in an old chair and he's just going Shazam,
That's so
Shazam,
sad.
Shazam, Shazam over and over again. Like yeah, it's meant to be absolutely sad. Like as they're talking, like they were milked. They all of them were milked for their vital essence because of movie industry.
Right.
Alan Moore.
Ah.
So what's bitter there, Alan? How's that mouse comic boycott going in America, huh? I love his stuff, but he is a grumpy old man. He is a
I've read that.
grumpy
I
old.
do, and I've read that. Yeah.
Saying that, I do love his work. It's a little
Yeah.
edgy. I'm not a 14-year-old anymore. Just, but you know what? Fuck it. Like I can't argue. Some of the stuff there is brilliant.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it's I recommend, like, at some point I want to sit down and just read the entire goddamn thing, which is going to
Mhm.
take apparently, especially because if you want all the references, you're going to have to actually like read all there'll be one character from like a book series from like 1920s that went for like eight volumes, you know.
See, I
Uh,
have to prepare myself emotionally first because I literally just got through the epic of what is Berserk to
mm,
date. So now that
with
was like
no
now I am just
ending.
like unmoored. Yeah, no
Uh,
ending and like just the mind. And I love, by the way, have you seen all the angry people that have recently
I
discovered
saw
Berserk?
you getting angry.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not really angry about it. I'm kind of surprised they hadn't mentioned it before. Yeah, there's a lot of people big mad now that they found Berserk and some of the choice screenshots from the manga, which
But it's
by themselves,
problematic.
to be fair, by themselves, if you don't know the context of the story, which then you've got no place to fucking complain. Go read Berserk.
Mm.
Do look pretty fucked, but
And
hey,
they are.
they're
That's the
meant to be.
but they're in context for a point.
I know.
Like,
I mean, the criticism's like, how are we supposed to find this entertaining? It's like, well, you're not. You're actually supposed to feel terribly disturbed and bad for these people.
yeah, I
You
mean,
like them.
oh, here's a good comparison. Do you remember how shocked everyone was that Ned Stark died?
Yeah,
Like,
I
obviously,
was.
in the real world, yeah, he would have died. He was incredibly naive. He wouldn't have
I
lasted
know.
5 seconds.
It's like when he was still in the garden with Cersei and she like side-eyed him. I'm like, how do you not see that? What are you doing? And then he was dead.
Yeah, and let's be honest here. Normies expect a happy ending. When the fuck does the world give us happy endings?
Well, to be fair, it was very like they kind of announced it in his poor decision making. But if you were kind of on the whole, oh my god, it's Sean Bean and it's a main character, how are you going to know Ned Stark? How are you going to kill him? People were pretty caught off guard. I mean,
Well, I don't know, the whole meme about Sean dying all the time.
mm.
But then again, they never watched Sharp, so they have
Oh,
no
that's
idea.
true. Yeah,
Oh, you have
there's
watched Sharp, have you?
no. I was just going to say that I haven't, but I was just going to say that he does. I think Silent Hill is the only movie of his I've seen
Where he
where he
doesn't die.
doesn't die. Yeah.
Oh, an imaginative battle would probably go like, I'll send SS if I go to if I go Goku Infantry Plus. Okay, I thought someone was quoting a scene from from League of Extraordinary Gentlemen there, but and if it is, well, I have no fucking idea. But yeah, yeah, like these people have to understand that media isn't always fun and dandy. A lot of people are like, oh, I want escapism. You do realize escapism can be really bleak too, right?
Yeah.
Like, oh, here's a great example that is in very much in the public zeitgeist. What's the best Star Wars films? The really sad ones.
Yeah.
Like, Empire does not end on a good turn, on a good note. Neither does Revenge of the Sith. But I think I'm gonna stand. Those are my two favorite of the Star Wars films. Like,
Honestly, none of the newer ones ever hit me emotionally as hard as those classics. I mean, everybody's all, oh, Kylo Ren, and I don't give a shit.
no, I don't. I don't fucking, they had no idea what the hell they were doing with that movie. And at that point, a lot of the original actors, it's very telling that when it was done with the original screening and Mark Hamill was walking out, someone was like, should we go and see it? And he just, as he just turns to the guy and said, wait for it to come out on the cable.
You know, like, how do you argue against Skywalker, man? Like,
Yeah,
if you love
literally, Luke
Star Wars,
Skywalker is saying,
yeah,
wait for it to go on sale. You know?
yeah. I mean, it's just because everybody wants to dick down that actor or get dicked down by him, rather. The Kylo Ren dude.
Oh,
Everybody's crazy for him.
Adam Driver
He's
or
got some
Alan Driver.
crazy fucking stands, man. He's got
Oh,
some crazy chicks
John
and
Oliver spoofs it a lot.
mhm.
Which is a running gag where he just wants to be like, "Fuck me, you mad horse," you know, like he just says random stuff like that, and eventually, he pops in like a Skype call and is like, "Dude, I've heard what you've been talking about. What, what what's wrong with you?"
But it
Like,
goes honestly, dude, it goes so much deeper than that. Like I'm not talking his normal fans, but some of his stands, I like deep dived into this a little while ago. People post like hobby drama on Reddit and shit, and
mm,
Adam Driver, that was he was the subject of one. This guy's got stands that like go out of their way to overanalyze photos of him online and stuff to try to prove that he's in an abusive relationship with his like wife by like overanalyzing the expressions on his face at different events and shit and photos and on
what?
video and they were convinced that he was like secretly in love with the chick that played Daisy, or not the chick, Daisy, Riddler, uh the girl that played his I don't know, romantic interest, that I don't know, fucking Star Wars, Kylo
Oh,
Ren's
oh,
the Jedi girl, the fucking
uh,
Jedi girl.
yeah, Ray.
Ray, thank you. They're like 100% convinced he was in love with her for real, and like his wife got in the way or some bull. Like they built this entire psychotic narrative, just based
Now
on
that's a side,
overanalyzing his
yeah.
expressions.
Now
Yeah,
that is something that has been going on since before the beginning of the internet.
that's
But
true.
I think to the point where I almost like, oh, that's almost kind of sweet. Not in a healthy sort of way, but sort of like a, oh, you put so much effort into this shrine made out of like used toenail clippings. You know, like,
Yeah, but there's no real concern for him or anything there. It's just that they're in their headcanons. He will break up with his wife when, ex Reddit user shows him how abused he is, and then go and fall in love with them. Like that's the core of it. It's these weird, fucked up mental health
can you
issue
think of someone else?
fantasies.
Can you think of someone else who briefly had that for a little while?
Well, what personally speaking, sure,
No,
I can
no,
think.
no, 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 no. I meant celebrity. Like, can you
uh,
think of somebody who,
where it's been that bad, like with their
yeah,
fans
their
that
fans
they're
have been acting that crazy? It was only a few
um.
years ago.
Oh gosh. The Rick and Morty fans? I don't know.
No, 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 no. I
No,
mean,
you're
like, just
talking about a
that, yeah,
particular
specific.
person. Yeah.
Yeah, that
I
specific thing where the
don't
fans were like that obsessed with their girlfriend's
over
wife.
really. I don't know. Who?
Brendan Fraser. Brendan
Really?
Fraser's fans were so obsessed over his
The
divorce.
Mummy?
Yeah, the guy from The
Friend?
Mummy, because that was their first crush. They were so like, oh, he's so like wholesome hot, like
Oh, that's funny. Cause
yeah,
you know what?
he's like himbo sweet sort of thing, and
I
then this
didn't know
woman
about
ruins his
that.
life. Also, Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp stance.
Oh well, that was fucked up.
Yeah, that was a big old pile of nope.
That was fucked up. I'm still shocked because we've got audio recordings and I think video, and if not video, then eyewitness accounts that she was the abusive party, and it's
And yet what was the first
Yeah.
thing we saw was him, let's be honest here, not taking it well.
Sorry, taking what well?
She basically you remember the whole thing that struck it off was the recording of him in their kitchen with a glass of wine. He flings it at her and screaming like, "I don't want to do this anymore!" But we didn't know we didn't want to know
Yeah, we
context.
didn't know. Yeah, that's
exactly.
the problem with it.
And
Yeah,
she put it out as she was being abused, and then
they
people were like, "But what about this? What about this punch right here? What about this here and that there?" And he did throw back. He started to defend himself, but he also, at that point, she turned around and started saying that she was the victim. And now people are kind of wondering why she's still getting roles in Aquaman.
I can only give you like my own opinion in terms of like that whole situation, because when it went down and everybody got super reactionary, I'm like, I'm good. I was always a big fan of Depp, liked him a lot, but I was like, I'm gonna wait on this and see what develops. And eventually more news came out, and I remember when it first started, like one of the big things was that she tried to claim that one of the physical abuses was that he threw a phone at her face in a drunken rage and bloodied and bruised her face, and allegedly that there was a police report of this done. But when they officially looked into it, they found that the police report, the police had come into his house or his apartment or whatever to check things out when on her or his call. I can't remember who actually, it might have been him that called them. And they came in to check and she was fine. There was no bruising, there was no broken phone, nothing was wrong with her. And then later, as days went on at different events and stuff, she was photographed and there was nothing wrong with her face. There was no makeup or anything. There was no bruising. So no evidence from a police report, no evidence officially. So like already there, and then the recordings came out and stuff, and I'm like I said, I'm shocked that there's still people defending her. I wanted to be extra sure before I don't want to be a fan of a fucking dude that gets drunk and beats on people, women or whatever.
I will say this,
as
someone who knows very well, he does have a drinking problem, and it isn't just the drink, it is the wallet. He spends 10 grand a week on wine.
Yeah.
And like,
I mean,
like his wine selection, like he has an entire wine cellar belt down, and it's never a full capacity because he's always tapping it.
I think his ex-wife, Winona Ryder, probably got the brunt as far as the worst of him and his alcoholism. That she, not that she had anything bad to say in terms of him being abusive. Like all his previous partners have said, absolutely not. And even but she did get the brunt in terms of having to care for him in his like worst drunken stupors. He's very lucky that he had such a loving partner, and they're still apparently very close to this day. But yeah, it honestly sounds like some people get very, very violent when they drink. It sounds like he's just a hopeless kind of I don't mean for this to sound fucked up, but kind of a pathetic sort of drunk, not a violent drunk.
He
just
gets
kind of
sad and starts sobbing.
Just sad, yeah. Which I don't know. I could be wrong.
He's a bit of we call that sort of person a lush.
Yeah.
He's a lush.
He definitely needs help, but there's no indication of him being abusive in the past, no in the modern, so I don't know.
It makes me wonder, like, does he have any, like, repressed, did anything bad happen to him or anything like that? Or does he have, like, really bad self-doubt? I know he has talked about self-doubt in the past, so maybe that's kind of a thing. Because you remember Michael J. Fox, before, obviously, he became sadly known for the whole...
The Parkinson's.
Yeah. He was an alcoholic, and he would do that to hide from the fear that he wasn't going to be as good as the next review. He was terrified of reviews. He said when Back to the Future came out, it was one of the worst nights because his friend, I think the producer, invited him back to celebrate with his wife, and at the house they were having dinner, and he was just losing his shit and insulting everyone and saying, "What the fuck do you know, bitch? I'm gonna be fucking ruined," because he saw the very first review, which was like, and
before it became like a cult-loved classic. Now
right,
it's like one of the best films of all time.
I mean, I get the idea of self-doubt, but Jesus Christ, like, he was.
I mean,
You know.
I'm not in the entertainment business. I had a brush with it in that I did a little bit of interviewing a little while ago, and just that little bit was stressful. There were constant reschedules. There was bullshit trying to schedule. That's just crap, disappointing, and I wouldn't want to be in that business. So I can't imagine especially being like a fucking triple A-lister like Depp. The amount of pressure that might introduce. So I can't be like, oh, whatever, walk it off, pussy. I don't know the kind of pressure behind that.
Yeah,
That
I
must
have
be
no.
stupendous.
At the end of your first big movie, I have no idea what it's like when you're waiting for people to come out of
Yeah.
the theater and make their opinions. When you see the first, especially these days where it's instantaneous, you're looking at your phone every 5 seconds to refresh.
You've
But
invested so much.
yeah, but on the topic of actors, though, there is two things. Number one, and this is a bizarre segue, The Witcher. We have to get back to that at some point,
Oh
or at
yeah.
least get to it. See, this is the thing. I love this woman's company. The problem is, like a lot of people who I enjoy their company, we tend to go off on magical adventures.
So
We
I
do.
I go on a lot of tangents, to be fair. I'm sorry.
But we promised them some
Yeah.
Witcher, so we will give them before the end of the night. I just wanted
Gotta
to remind you
see
guys that.
sexy Witcher.
But it is our show tonight. It
All
is our
right.
show, and we can do whatever the fuck we like.
Let's watch some Gerald and Jennifer.
Wait. Oh right. I was like, wait, what? I was like,
Oh,
is
you
that
want
a
to finish the
90s?
nice guy's story first?
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah.
Well, I want to see at least does he get like?
Yeah, I want to see what
yeah.
happens. I just come
I
up
would
and
have to
fuck
get
this
him
guy.
off me, but he would just pick up my arm and put it around
And
me.
trust me, some of them do end up.
Each time I would try to take my hand away and just move it back.
Yeah.
He started leaning on my chest in a way that seriously made me uncomfortable. When I told him to stop, he would say that he wasn't doing anything wrong, and then would continue putting his head into my chest. I told him to just stop touching me altogether at that point. He said that was fine, but still continued. He would keep trying to hold my hand and do the things he was doing before. He got another erection and said that I could help his erection by cuddling him in bed, and he tried to force me onto his lap again. He wanted me to kiss him, but I refused. I tried to leave again, but he said that I couldn't use the excuse of it being too late, and it wasn't fair on him that I wanted to leave early. I started messaging one of my friends and telling him about what was going on, and he...
This is when you start the message? Like,
I'm shocked. Yeah, this is disgusting.
Well before. Yeah.
told me to leave because I had given Rom enough chances.
There's not going to be any victim blaming here other than to say, come on.
No.
Come on.
I'm just shocked. Yeah.
It's just...
Rom grabbed
I feel
my
for
phone
her,
out of my hands, turned it off, and put it face down on my bed. Not much happened.
I've actually been in a pretty rough situation. Fuck it, I'll just quickly say it. So someone wanted me to fuck someone in front of a crowd.
In front of a crowd?
About 6 people. Some of them were naked, some were fucking around. And it was one of them was my ex. We were already broken up at that point, and it was her friend who wanted to get with me because she wanted to fuck someone, and I was like, no, and they were like, come on, do it, pussy, do it. Are you a real man? I'm like, I'm a fucking real.
Fuck off. Honestly, fuck any woman that says that.
Yeah, I was like, I'm a realer man than you ever had, and I tried to walk off, and they locked the door on me. I had to break the door. I actually paid for their door back. That was a fun time.
I feel bad for you for that. I wouldn't have.
That was one of the worst experiences in my life.
After that,
guys get
picked up my phone
pressured
again
into
and started
that.
looking through my gallery.
And here's the thing: had they been more chill about it, you must have noticed this about me. I'm incredibly open. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. But here's the thing: how they were about it, how the whole night had gone. How the fact I had so much on my plate at the time that I didn't even want to go out in the first place. I was moving home at the same time. I was moving into my first apartment. The first 2 weeks of my new apartment, added with the stress of constantly getting called by people going like, "What the fuck was wrong with you that night? Jesus Christ, do you block?" I
no respect for your bodily autonomy. That's friends you don't need. You block friends like that. Absolutely.
Yeah, 100%.
To make myself look busy. He saw a picture of me and commented that I looked chubby, and started to make comments on the way my chest looked.
Fucking negging her.
At that point, I had just had enough. At that point, she had had enough.
Yeah, that's the one thing I will say.
It's just this girl's home life like that. That's her tolerance level, yo.
Right.
Some of these authors put up with a pretty insane level of bullshit, apparently. She can't tell this guy off for pretty much forcing himself on her, but when he says she looks chubby, well, that's just a bit too much. I told him that I was going to leave, and he said that he was...
I'm actually now thinking back to the night, and earlier that night there was this really good-looking blonde who was in one of those see-through outfits where there was like no
Oh,
bra and only a white thong. It was like a pure
nice.
white thing. Oh God, she was hot. And it later on turned out she was thinking of fucking me.
Was she one of the ones that like fucked up?
Yeah, she ended up being one of the motherfuckers who was fucking
Well, sucks for her.
being like, what's your fucking problem? I thought you wanted to shag someone. Fucking
Imagine fucking going to like a
going to leave too because he
consensual
had a trial
orgy or
shift at a
gangbang or
bar.
whatever, and that's what you fucking say.
It was actually meeting up for drinks in a gay
It's
bar.
just a drink meetup. It was just a drink.
Yeah,
It wasn't
and
even like
then
a
we went back
gangbang.
to no, then we went back to
The
her
fuck?
place, and apparently I was gonna get laid, and that whole night was just, oh my fucking God, it was crazy. But through it
Wow.
all, like I was thinking, I was looking at the ones to my left, I was looking at the ones to my right, and I was thinking, okay. It went to weird places that night. It was still one of the
Mhm.
worst experiences I've ever experienced in my life. But she at the very least, none of my friends now are friends with her because one by one she fucking burned all the main one involved, the one who wanted to me to do her in front of the whole crowd.
Mhm.
She just like not right in the head, really not right in the head. And like afterwards, people were like, well, I can kind of see why you did what you did because then they tell me their story, and I'm like, oh, okay, but did you? Oh God, earlier that night she wanted me to fuck her in the street because she fancied one of the bouncers in the bar we had just left, and we had a glass window, and I was to lift her up her skirt and fuck her, and then she'd be like, yeah, you missed out on this, and I was like, I'm not gonna fucking do that.
Why
I
not?
was
Why
like,
you wouldn't have found it arousing to be used to make some other dude jealous? What's
they
wrong?
used me
Fuck.
as a coat rack for a few minutes. For hours prior, they did not treat. You know who treated me with the most respect that night? The fucking gay guys who made passes at me. That was
That's
it.
okay.
This is what I say. I do so much better chilling with women than I do a lot of times like being hit on over here in Ireland. But with
Yeah.
guys, I don't really get along with them. But they seem to just be really straight up forward. Like, hey, I find you attractive. I'd love to have sex with you sometimes. Like, oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Not really
Wow.
interested, but is there any chance you have a sister who has your exact same mindset? Yeah, she's married. Of course she is.
Aw.
He asked if he could get undressed
Well,
in
it's an
front of me,
ego
and I
boost
told him
anyway.
no.
That's nice.
He got changed in his
Oh, always,
bathroom.
always.
When he came out, he could visibly see that I was upset and angry with
They
him.
also know the idea of the word
He
no.
told me that it was a turnoff
Yeah.
for him when I didn't
Yeah.
smile because he liked
That's
a
another thing
smiling
women need
face,
to be
and I
taught
said
as
that I
well.
didn't care. He did an impression of my facial
That's true.
expressions
There's
while
an
walking toward
unfair,
me
like
and
the
poked me in
whole.
the
It's not the
stomach,
first time I've seen
literally
the
two...
whole. Oh, be a man when it's like
Mm-hmm.
sexually
It's
to
the double
please. Yeah.
standard.
Yeah. That's just as gross, honestly.
But unless a woman's actually experienced it or seen it firsthand, a lot of women don't want to talk about it because they think that, oh, that's incel talk. And the sad fact is MGTOWs have stolen that. Take it back. Talk about it like adults, someone who's actually had
Yeah.
sex and love women for women and treat themselves and yourself with respect. And then go, yeah, but here's the thing. There's a double standards and there's no other way to put it. Women kind of are the gatekeepers of sex. Like,
And anyway, like the incels that are really, I know there's incels that are like just people that for whatever reason they haven't, but then the incels we're talking about, like
yeah, we don't
like
really
this
talk
piece
about
of shit here, like this piece of shit here, they can never be helped because they want to stay the way they are. They have a better time just hating on what they can't get rather than using that time to improve. Go take a fucking shower, go do some exercise, go get a good job or something, improve your lifestyle in some way to become more attractive. What do these people owe you if you're not even, you know?
Back to the idea of like take the power back from like a good talking point that's been taken over by a bad person. Jordan Peterson said it best: clean your room, bucko. Not just to clean your room, although clean your room, but start at yourself and work out from that. Now the thing is, he's not taking his own advice because he's a dilapidated Skeletor, a lich held together by lobster meat and obsessive, staring at his daughter in a
Oh,
bikini. But like it doesn't change
he
the fact
feeds on the
he
souls of the insults he entertains.
oh
It's pretty
100%.
common knowledge, yeah.
But like he's not wrong. Like do start with simple things like shower, brush your teeth, wash your
Wash your
clothes,
balls
wash your
and your
fucking
clothes.
socks. Yeah, wash your socks because I've always found with me anyway, when I'm at my saddest, you can always tell because the whole place smells like feet. Yeah, because but when I'm fat guys, we sweat a lot, and where does most of your sweat come from? Comes from your head and your feet. Um,
2 seconds after I told him not to touch me.
but don't ever think that's like Jordan Peterson giving you the fucking getting a win. No, because then he's like, and then make fun of people who are weaker than you.
Yeah,
Hello,
it's
action. Would you
maybe take the shower advice away and
yeah,
self-care and just leave the rest.
you know, maybe do a night course in something, or go back to college. Maybe less the whole, you know, certain races are good at certain things. Bit of advice.
When I told him that I had just asked him to stop touching me, he said, "You are from
White
Jupiter.
people
you
are
need help."
industrious and creative.
That was the
Black
last time
people
I
are
saw
good
him.
at basketball.
He asked me to go
Oh
to
my
another
God.
event with him and to go celebrate Diwali by drinking with his friends. I told him that I wasn't in the mood because of some personal issues each time.
Never heard of that.
He said that instead of using it as an excuse, I should just talk to him. Later on, he asked me to come to his room to drink gin with him and one of his course mates. I refused and reminded him of how he tried to pressure me into drinking beer with him last time I saw him. To which he said, "This is gin, not beer."
Yeah, logic.
He got
bitch.
upset
It's
that I didn't want to
stronger
spend time with him anymore.
and makes you drunk faster.
Yeah, don't mind
a
me. I'm
different
only
kind
the
of
guy who
alcohol.
tried to
What's
get
the
you
matter?
drunk off beer. You definitely want to accept liquor from me. We stopped talking completely after that. Ajay messaged me a few times, and one time he asked me if I had seen Ram recently because he had been busy. After a few weeks, he stopped talking to me, and I saw on his Instagram story that they had gone to the beach together. I knew that Ram had most likely said something about me, since I'm pretty sure Ajay doesn't know anything about Ram being a creep. I also found out that he asked someone on my following who happened to be 17 if she was single and in the area he was in. One of my flatmates complained about me to him as well because he kept requesting to follow her on Instagram, despite her declining his request multiple times. Edit, sorry if there are any spelling or grammar mistakes, and damn, this is longer than I expected. Well, that was awful.
That was one of I'm kind of annoyed that was the first one I showed you of him, because some of them are a little bit more like, what, you don't like anime, like, oh my god, there was a case of
a
like
little more expressive, like to the
yeah, there was one I really liked where it was this white girl who used to be like, she used to dress and act like, she was really cute, but she used to dress and act like an anime character, like a really like magical girl, like, wow, Suna Canoe, like you'd see at like a Comic Con, but she did it in high school and in early college.
Oh no!
Oh yeah, and she was
Yeah.
obsessed
Why
with
would
all
you
the
do
Asian
that?
kids, and she started to, or the second she found out none of them watched anime because some of them were from fucking Vietnam, she would lose their shit and call them anti-Asian.
Oh my god.
Then there was the cake puncher who punched his father-in-law's cake at his own wedding, not wedding, his own birthday. Oh, and here's the best one. There was a story he did, a crossover about a D&D party where the party was the guy who was DM always used to made it like, he used to add stuff to add to the effects. For example, you're in a dark cave, you're in the Underdark, and then he has like sound effects of water dripping, right? Or you know, you're here in the frozen north, and then he has a smoke machine put in, or mist and all that stuff. He really adds to it. So one time you're at a tavern and you all order drinks. So what drinks do you order? You roll your dice, and then he makes little notes of it. Then he brings out the drinks in question, like all big drinks. They're like, oh well, that's really cool. They'll have a drinks. A few minutes later, everyone's getting sick. He roofied them.
What the fuck?
He suffered from something or
Wow.
other. So for everyone who failed a I don't know, perception check, he took his medicine and put massive doses in each of them.
Holy shit! What a dangerous
Ambulance
idiot.
ambulance called.
Yeah.
Stomach pumps on 2. Apparently, one was sued. Yep. And as he thought it would add to the ambience because he had an
Only
entire
one of them
script.
sued. What? Wow.
One of them was thinking of the guy who was writing the script saying, "I'm thinking of suing." He was also the only one who actually passed the perception check.
Jesus, I'd have him charged. Well,
Uh,
that's funny.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
there's some genuine like, oh come on, I like you a lot better, or like if you ever see the word femoid
Yes.
just females.
That
If you
guy's a
ever see
sex.
someone
Yeah.
saying the word female,
Yes.
you
I've
know
never
you're.
referred to a dude a male.
Has anyone ever called you a female? Anyone ever females like
Thank God,
you?
no. No, no, actually, I've never had anyone just I don't know if I could not I don't know if I could stop myself from laughing in somebody's face. That's so very disconnected from the like normal reality.
It is
Females like you. What the fuck?
it is so like
No,
fucked
it's a
up mind
term. It's
thing.
an acceptable term. No, you
No,
know what you're
it's
doing.
yeah. You're following the MGTOW points. You're following the alpha points, which
Yeah.
I love how that's being completely discredited by the guy who wrote the book, and he never tried to make it as a comparison
Mm.
to
Yes.
human social interaction lines.
That's so sad. He's like, what the fuck is wrong? Yeah.
Yeah, like it's like if Jesus came back and was like, "What the fuck is this?" and they point to every Abrahamic religion, which
Yeah.
I think he would if the Bible is to be believed. He'd have no
Yeah.
idea what the fuck anything's going on.
Hmm.
But yeah, we were gonna at some point look at the himbo known as Geralt of Rivia. But first, let's look at The Witcher.
Is a
The,
new one coming out? Mm.
uh, will there be a Witcher 4? What
Yes.
developer? Geralt is future. I don't know if I want more Geralt stories. I mean, unless I know more people want to just see more Geralt. I get that. It's just I think his story's done. I think no matter what choice you made at the end of Witcher 3, it's a good ending.
I mean, the only thing I can really see them doing is sort of taking it back to
Witcher 1.
like maybe because where in the context of the books Witcher 1 starts
Um,
off,
at the
it's
start
like
of the show, where it's he's going
because the
after
books go way back.
the Trials of the Grasses. Yeah, we don't
Yeah.
get to see that. We don't get to see his training. We don't get to see a lot of things. I would like, for example, maybe show The Witcher's a century or two prior. Maybe show Vesemir's Trial of Grasses.
Yeah, hot take, new Witcher. We got lots of Witchers. We could play a Witcher from a different school. How
Ooh,
about
we
the
agree.
crazy school? The
Oh,
murdery one.
yeah, the cat, the
Yeah.
viper or the cat.
One of the
Yeah.
two. Yeah, that
Oh,
creates more like killers really than
oh, the Hydra. Let's say the school of the Hydra, and it's
yeah.
desperate to create new Witchers. Like this is the future of humanity. We're all sterile. Oh God, it'll be the plot of Fallout 1. We will bring
Imagine
joys
that
to
though.
the wasteland.
Imagine like light Fallout 1 sort of plot elements in a Witcher game like that because you're using a
Witchers are
different
raiding
school with
Witchers are raiding the countryside for young children to
yeah,
change
you
into
play
new
like as
Witchers.
they're the villains. They're the
Yeah.
villains.
But they're like mutant Witchers. They have like giant eyes that are like the size of anime catgirl eyes. And
Because
and
was
they're
it
very dumb.
in the game? Didn't we? We met a Witcher from the Witcher the school, from the cat school, and
Everyone but the Griffin, if I remember right, but you do get a quest to collect an armor set from the bones of the last
yeah.
5 that were captured and killed.
And well, the cat guy, I think he killed an entire village in a fit of rage because they wouldn't. To be fair, they wouldn't. The two guys that were like head of the village, after he took care of some monster for them, they wouldn't pay him. And then when he like made a ruckus, they tried to kill him. But in retaliation, instead of just killing the two guys, he slayed everyone in the village, including all the kids. So
Yeah,
it's like,
I think that was two. Yeah, that's 2 cats. There's that, and
yeah.
then you go for is it Lambert or Eskel? His best friend gets killed by one of them, and you
Yeah,
go
and you
to
have
his
to look
house,
for him.
Yeah, when you go to
Yeah.
his house, he's looking after a child that he's adamant is his child, and he's
Mhm.
like, "Listen, I know what I did was wrong, and I would prepare for that, but I have a child to protect now, and I love my wife." And they're like, "Father, no, please, it's all right, little one." And like you're like, is it Esker or Lambert?
Lamb. God, I get them mixed up now, especially with the fucking show now.
Oh, how
Uh,
that ending of one of them. Oh my God. Oh, where he got turned into the
yes,
string
yes,
thing. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I hate it. By the way, I fucking hated his portrayal, in the show. That
He
character
barely
was
had any down.
Well, no, he was also like he's supposed to be the super serious, respectful, good friend of Geralt's, and they basically made him a mishmash of both of the characters, actually, Lambert and Eskel, and it's just I don't know, it just didn't work for me. It was just stupid.
I always
L
liked how they uh in the game they show
yeah,
him as being also a bit of a freak as far as Witchers go because he just hated every aspect of it and would just constantly remind them how shitty their lives were.
yeah.
Like he'd just be like, "Hey, isn't it great that do you remember the Trail of the Grass? Remember they put us in that cage? That was fun. Remember that kid who ripped his own face off? I sure do." And they're like, "That was almost 80 years ago. It doesn't make
Dude,
it any
downer.
better."
Yeah,
He's just constantly fucking reminding everyone. I mean, he still loves Vesemir because Vesemir is like his only father that he
yeah.
knows. But like, this is the same logic when Geralt meets his mother, which makes no sense in the story.
That was
How
so
the
weird. I
fuck?
remember that.
How the fuck does a how the fuck does a sorceress have a child? It doesn't make any sense. But then again, if I remember right,
Even
that came
Yennefer
from
doesn't really find a way, and she's all
and
like,
her that's basically
"Eh."
her whole plot
Yeah.
until she finds Cersei, and then Cersei, yeah,
Maybe
that's
she
when
had
she did
him before. Did she have him while she was a witch? I know she was a witch when they met,
it.
but did she give birth to him as a witch?
No, she
She
was
might not have
already established.
undergone all the, you know,
Maybe she was half, but I mean, she did have powers. But yes, maybe she had like
because
run away or whatever. But
it's the process, right, that takes the ability
yeah,
to have
you
children
need
away.
yeah
The
you're
school actually, no, I'm sorry, it's not even a process. The school stipulates that all students that enter
mm,
have to be made infertile.
yeah,
Yeah.
which makes a lot of sense when you think about how the power works. Like I remember Elf King, who we've had on before, and I'm sure I've mentioned. I think you might have even been on stream with her at one point. Uh, they were shocked on the show when it showed what
Hmm.
happened, like how they were turned to eels.
Yeah, I thought that was very shocking.
And I was like,
Yikes.
yeah, I remember that. I
Yeah.
remember reading that, and they were like, why? And I'm like, oh, because now they're conduits of power. Now they add to the they were useless otherwise, so it kind of makes sense in the fucked up universe of The Witcher, because The Witcher is a very bleak and horror. It's like Grimm's fairy tales meets the Baba Yaga meets a
Yeah.
cold Eastern Siberian winter. You know?
It's so sadistic that actually being kind of mesmerized, clueless eels in a glowing pool, maybe not so bad.
Yeah, considering do you remember the from The Witcher 3 the sisters in the land south of in the land south of Novigrad, the sort of the three crones, the main
Yeah.
antagonists down
Oh
there.
my God, with the kids in the woods and
Yeah, they
the
were.
Baron's wife. The Baron's
Yeah,
wife was there. Yeah.
yeah. Oh, the Bloody Baron is a
The
great
Bloody
example
Baron.
of how CD Projekt Red can actually write good characters. Because at first glance, you're like, "Fuck this piece of shit." At the end of it, you're like,
Yeah, it's
"Still fuck
complex.
this piece of shit," but
But
Jesus, I actually
yeah.
understand how you got here.
You
And
know why he's a piece of shit,
and you know
right?
what it
Yeah.
reminds me of? Robert Baratheon at Game of Thrones.
Yeah, well, he was it the same dude doing the voice acting or something? Like it sounded very
Let's find out.
samey too. I don't
It,
actually know because
yeah, Bloody Baron voice actor.
bring me the plate mail stretcher, Ned.
Like I've always said, he'd be a great person for me to cosplay as.
Yeah, when they make
Voice
IRL Bloody Baron, it's got to be the fucking
James Clyde?
uh what?
No. That's
Oh, that is true. That's true.
yeah, I knew that.
Yeah.
Charles Dance is clearly
Great.
meant to be
Yeah.
Emir in more ways than one. Um, but let's have a look at Bloody Baron voice actor James Clyde as the Bloody Baron.
Well,
James Clyde is
that guy.
the face kind of looks familiar.
Let's see the profile. Let's see what else he's done.
Anonymous,
Inheritance.
Simmons about Black Earth Rising,
Beauty. Oh, nice.
Neo.
Oh no,
Here's Neo.
a show.
Uh,
Oh, Derek
Witcher.
the Executioner.
The Bill. Holy shit. Boudica, Honey Trap,
Well,
Kuiper, Backup, Between the Lines,
a lot of
Marguerite.
TV shows. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it.
All right, fair
Yeah.
enough. I guess he's just
Yeah,
known
sure.
well, fair enough. I guess he wasn't. I know, by the way, the guy who actually did play Robert Baratheon, Baratheon, actor
Mark Addy.
Mark Addy, yeah.
There he is. Oh, he
Yeah,
looks so different without the beard,
right.
man.
He was in Merlin. Do you remember that show, Merlin?
The one with Martin Short or the one later? The BBC miniseries or
No, the one that's I think well maybe it was a miniseries. It wasn't
It was the original had Isabella Rossellini as Nimue. The one I'm thinking of, I mean, the BBC one, and Martin Short is like Frick, and some other really good one. Sam Neill was Merlin.
Atlantis, Jericho. Wait, hold on. No, it was Merlin. It was like Merlin, but I used to see it on Sci-Fi Channel.
It was maybe there was like a young Merlin show at one point.
It was
or
out
something. I don't know.
roughly about the time of season, I'd say 3 of Game of Thrones.
Yeah, the one I'm thinking of is older. The BBC miniseries is much older. It's probably not the same thing. But I highly recommend the Beeb miniseries because Sam Neill's great.
Yeah, Merlin 2008.
Yeah.
This is the one I'm thinking of.
Okay, yeah, I didn't see this one. No.
Yeah, he plays
Yeah, the young. Yeah, there he is. Yeah.
Yeah. But
Oh, Anthony Head was Uther, right? Oh, Anthony Head was Uther. Yes.
John
Yes.
Hurt is the great drag. When the hell did John Hurt die?
Maybe I saw an episode of this or something. Didn't
2017?
he die?
Oh, okay.
Wow. I forgot.
I had one chance to meet him, and I didn't do it because he was doing a thing with Michael Gambon up in the Ambassador Theatre, and it was a 1920s play from the States or something like that, and I just I never got a chance to do it because I was like, oh, I can catch him some other time.
That's too bad.
Right? If you get your chance,
shit happens.
folks, if you get your chance, folks, always go and do it. Anyway. Back to CD Projekt Red's Witcher. We already know this Witcher 4 is going to be.
Is that the in-game graphics right there?
Damn.
No, that's gonna be wow. Novigrad's looking a little yikes.
We already know Witcher 4 is going to happen eventually. Well, no knows what actually going to call the Witcher 4. I can see the series.
So we have no news. It's just that it's in development. Oh wait.
Working on Witcher 3. They're complaining that they already have enough. They want to fix Cyberpunk 2077, which is not going to happen.
Oh, wait a minute. We might actually get what we were talking about if you read on the second to last paragraph.
Doesn't mean we shouldn't expect more Geralt or even the game to be called The Witcher 4. Studios cleared original series stands alone. Plenty of stories in the universe of Witcher to explore.
Maybe New Witcher. New Witcher.
Really?
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Like they're not
you know
wrong.
what? No, I figured it out. We're gonna play as Ciri. We're gonna play as a Ciri who goes on to become
Empress?
a Witcher herself.
Oh,
no, it would have to be the Witcher ending. Oh, fuck that. No, Witcher ending is best ending.
You know what? In this universe,
that's what she wants.
I know, but here's the thing: Geralt would honestly, in the books and in the goddamn game, I always felt that Geralt would just look at her and go, "You'd make a great empress and help a lot of people." And
that's true.
she'd be like, "But it's not what I want." And I was like, "Listen, I didn't want this, but look what I've done with it. You're going to be in charge of the most powerful nation in the world. Think about that."
Yeah. I
And
think maybe you're right, and like giving her the argument that she'll save more people as a queen than as a witcher would maybe, yeah,
don't get me wrong, I
would do
love the
that. Yeah.
idea of her wandering around with her time magic and her
Yeah.
fucking and her Witcher skills with that huge ass sword of hers. There is meant to
Hmm.
be an Easter egg in Cyberpunk of Siri running around briefly because she makes a throwaway joke that she goes either to Earth or she goes to the Cyberpunk universe. And
Right.
when she's like, "Where did you go?" "Oh, you wouldn't believe me if I told you. Try me." Because obviously he's been to places too. I mean, do you remember when you got to see how the Great Winter or the Great Frost, whatever it's called, takes over every fucking.
Yeah. Yeah.
I really
Well,
love the idea of that because the way the
I
elves kind of
loved
destroy their own universe every
in the
time.
books when she's like skipping around between the worlds with her little horse, if you remember
Mm.
that. That was great.
The unicorn.
And yeah, yeah. Well, it was the little horse was the unicorn, right?
Yeah,
That
it
was
could
in, yeah.
speak, right?
I think so. Yeah, in her mind or something, and
It
yeah,
gave
yeah.
nicknames to every. Yeah, the unicorns fight the was it the Ansei elves? There's the elves that are treated like second trash in like the Witcher universe, and then there's basically the neo-Nazi
There's the
genocidal
Nazi elves.
yeah,
Yeah.
there's the fucking there's the spoilers. There's the Wild Hunt elves,
And not
who
just them, but there's like entire ones. Sorry,
yeah no
there's
no
just
yeah.
entire ones that like traverse dimensions looking for worlds to take over from like lesser creatures.
But
So you got like
no, that's the same. They're the same.
that's
Yeah,
those
that's
are
their
that's
army.
actually
The
Wild
Wild
Hunt. They
Hunt
don't
is
have
their
like
army.
oh,
Yeah.
that's their extended
Yeah.
army. Okay, yeah. Yeah.
They're basically
It's been a while since
the
I've
Pathfinder fleet, and they're
so
always
we got
outrunning
Nazi
the.
elves.
Yeah, they're the Nazi elves. They find the
Yeah.
world, they'll weaken it by stealing people to use as chattel as ever they want, and then kill them. And then
And
eventually,
then they're
when
like, you discriminate against us.
right, well, no, they don't get discriminated against because they never
That's
last
true.
very.
The
The
in-world
other one,
elves do,
yes, and you know what else?
legitimately. Yeah.
They'd kill them too, because
Yeah, they
they'd
don't
be
give a shit
considered.
about
Yeah,
them.
but here's the thing.
They're like dirty elves to them,
Right?
basically.
They're
No.
like they're hobo elves.
Do you remember the Daleks when they became super Daleks and they're like, all the other Daleks suck now? That's like the elves in
Isn't
these
there more
books.
than one Dalek Civil War? There's like 5 of them.
Oh yeah, honestly, with the new show, they overused them. All the major monsters have been overused to fuckery, and like no one cares about the Daleks anymore.
Yeah, I see the Daleks, the Cybermen, the Weeping Angels.
The Weeping Angels. Oh, what a waste.
Uh oh God, what were the ones that they all wear? Oh, the ones who were all like they came from like Mars and they were all like really not Mars. They came from a world like Mars. They were all like is it Ice Warriors or something like that. They were all like really tough. They looked like big red thumbs in their battle armor.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like I can't remember what they're called, but he's got one of them is of like a friend of his in like the unit with Capaldi's season, I think.
Oh, by the way, see this character here, Radovid. Now
Radovid.
that was a hell of watching his character descend into utter madness over
I
the course
killed
of
him.
3 games.
Killed
Oh wait,
his ass.
I always kill him.
Yeah.
I've only ever done every other ending.
Fuck
just as
his
one-off.
genocide.
Oh, but I mean, like by Witcher 3, he's lost his mind. By Witcher 1, he really has hopes. We're going to unite the North, and everyone will be able to defend against the evil Nilfgaardian invasion. By number 2, I was betrayed. Everyone's out to get me. Everyone, especially those filthy knife eaters and those magic users. By the 3rd one, burn
He's
them
right
all!
about the magic users. That's the fucked up thing.
The Sorceress Lodge is no one's friend. Sorry there, Philippa.
They fucking drove him crazy. They're the ones that helped in driving. So he's actually right about the sorceresses specifically, because they did actually conspire against him.
I had finished the story on the Doppler. Remember the Doppler pretended to be the gnome or the halfling dude, and made a fortune on his investments, and they were running around
oh
Novigrad.
Yeah.
The first time when you go into Novigrad, you see him getting roasted alive at the spit.
Oh my God.
And oh my God, like what the
That's horrible.
Which don't get me wrong, it makes sense in the Witcher universe. It's just it's like the Berserk, the people you were complaining about earlier, like going into Berserk. You have to fucking take this shit with a context that this is not a happy-go-lucky fun time adventure for the whole family.
You're supposed to have empathy for them,
right?
yeah.
And you kind of have
Yeah.
empathy if they're all having really good times all the time.
Yeah. You're not meant to be like, yeah, that looks really entertaining on the left there. That looks like a good time. I mean, I
And
felt a
going
little
on,
bad for those nameless corpses.
right?
Yeah.
Um, oh God, do you remember the fourth wall break in Witcher 3 where they're at Kaer Morhen getting drunk, and was it Eskel who's like, "So Geralt, is it true that you killed three guys?" Going, what are you doing? I'm doing what I was paid to do, killing monsters." And he's quoting line from the trailer.
I love that. But I don't know about, I mean, I remember that, but my favorite part with them anyway is when they go and dress up in Yennefer and Trish's clothes.
And
And
yeah,
it's like,
brief cameo by Francesca Finbar in that when they're going through
oh.
her horoscope, the most beautiful woman in the world, which he
Mhm.
appears in the show as the elf who is pregnant. But in this, she makes
All
a
right.
single appearance where she has a mask on. She's the one with the mask going, hmm? She's just
Ah.
one. And they also, yeah, that was a pretty cool moment. I'm like, wait, was that maybe Francesca? I'm like, oh, that's why she keeps the mask on, because she's meant to be so beautiful it actually like would distract and like
You'd
dumb
be like, oh
down.
my God, you could have like the most massive heart on. You would never be able
Yeah,
to get like anything done. Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
They wouldn't be able to finish that, but also it means that the designers don't have to design a really pretty face. People are like, oh, I
Yeah.
haven't seen that one
It's
before.
not pretty enough. She
Exactly.
should be prettier. They kind of leave it to your imagination. That's probably a good move. Because honestly, on the show, like the lady elf's really nice and pretty, but she's not like the most beautiful woman in the world.
Okay, I've been talking to Elf King about this. Before we get into the show tonight, your stance on the sorceresses in The Witcher, are they as attractive as you thought they should be?
On the show, I don't like who they picked for Triss, man. Everyone else, Yennefer's really cute. I like Yennefer's look. Everybody else is fine. I don't like Triss. She's not. What is your problem with fucking redheads? Bright red hair. She doesn't. I don't know. Maybe I'm biased. I just wanted her to look more like the Triss on the show. And her hair is more described as kind of reddish auburn, I think, in the books anyway. But yeah, that's who they like. I'm just biased for the Triss in the game. I'm sorry. That's not. I would just. That's not Triss to me.
Mm.
She at least put her hair red, brighter red
And here's
than she
Yen.
was.
Here's
Yen, I
Yen.
really like. Yen is fine.
Oh, obviously Yen actress am I?
You gotta put
Witcher,
Yennefer or
Yennefer.
Yen. Yeah.
Very first choice of yeah. Yen when she
It's a
was
little confused. There we go. Yeah.
back
Oh,
when
and
she
she was
was,
the little hunchback. Oh
which
my
was a
God.
great little touch that I remember when I started rereading the stories. I love
Yeah.
how he does notice because she intentionally keeps a little bit of
Yeah.
she intentionally keeps a little bit of there's just something
Like,
slightly off about her mouth or about her the way she walks, and that she
yes,
did that intentionally because she never wanted people to forget that she was if they ever knew her well enough that she came from basically nothing.
I really like this actress. I think she's great for Yennefer, and I'm 100% convinced that the people who don't think so are the fact that she's not pale enough for them. Do
No,
you know what
that
I'm
is
saying?
yeah, I
Yeah.
know, I know.
And I know that's me being kind of a douche because I'm like, oh, I like the red hair, but I feel like wanting somebody, I've been fine with the character of Triss, just brighten her hair red.
You know what
But
my
to be like, this is just not Yennefer because, fuck you.
you know what my hot take on
What?
all the witches I've seen so far?
Mhm.
None of them are disturbingly hot. They are every sorceress
Yeah.
in the game, in the books. Forget the games for a minute, which of course is where most of us get it from. And the games try their best by using borderline impossible physical features, right?
It's
That
like they
these,
have Snapchat filters on IRL in the game.
right? They are
Yeah.
basically, you know the way
Now
like
that you mention it, actually,
because you
yes. Yeah.
know full well that they use
They
there's
should
a
be hotter.
reason. Yeah,
Yeah.
they have to be hotter because it's a weapon. They use it as a weapon to control
Yeah. They
lesser
should have
minds.
glammed them all up a lot more. I don't mind the
100%.
the women that they've chosen for these roles. I find them all very
I
attractive.
find
Red in
her
her hair, but
I find her incredibly attractive.
yeah.
And you know
But
who she
they
reminds
should
me of
have.
right there? She reminds me of the one from Dusk Till Dawn with the snake.
Oh yes,
actress. Uh,
Santa Domina. What's that
uh,
character's name?
what was the actress's name though?
I can't remember.
Dusk Till Dawn, Snake. Now, do you remember? Like, this is gonna be safe because I don't know. YouTube is.
Oh no, you
Weird.
can totally watch the snake scene on YouTube. It's fine.
Yeah. Okay. For some reason, it's not going to want to. Oh,
Yeah.
fine. From Dusk.
Oh shit, I'm sorry. I just realized it's been just over 2 hours. I'm sorry. Can we save the Witcher full show for like another stream and we could
We
just
don't
watch it throughout?
really
We got a
have.
little
I don't know much more. Do you have to go now or?
um how
No, I mean,
by
like, no.
8:30 in like 15 minutes. I didn't realize
I
how
knew this
late
would
it was.
happen. I fucking knew this would happen.
Sorry.
I
Well,
knew
it's
it.
been 2.5 hours. It's been a good show.
No, it's fine. It's
Yeah.
just that you're always on the clock and I'm not.
Yeah.
So
I'm
I
sorry.
knew this would happen. And once we got distracted in the back of my mind, we're never gonna watch it.
We gotta be like, next time we have to be super hard and be like, we're watching the shit and get on the tangent and be like, shut up, fucking watching Witcher now. And that's what we'll do. Dusk Till Dawn actress.
Salma
We
Hayek.
know her. Salma Hayek, yeah. She's
Yeah.
like super famous. And that you can watch this, you can play the scene. We could go out on that scene.
Okay, I just want to show this off, right?
Yeah.
Now look at that. Hold on, be sure there's no tits.
Yeah, she should have like. I'm sure that you could have used makeup to glam them up even further to make them look even
Now,
better.
a woman on average can look this good. Same with a guy with his incredibly powerful six pack or whatever. Look good like this for about maybe a week at a given time, and then nature tends to want to start swinging you one way or another, and it starts getting harder and harder to maintain. The idea of obviously there are exceptions, but with the witches, the sorceresses in The Witcher, they needed to be this 24/7, this ideal of physical beauty for women, that it
Yeah.
would be almost scary, and it is so like
And it's hilarious because they're like some of them are hundreds of years old, kept alive by their magics or whatever, and actually in IRL look quite old. But yeah, it's their magics and tinctures and all that stuff keeping them looking good.
Yep. And that also should really apply to their personalities. They should still fuck up because they're still people, but people who are a century old, for example, who
Yeah,
haven't.
the petulance of them, I didn't like that. Like
Yeah, they're
a lot
still
of them are
acting like in their
catty
20s or
bitches.
30s. Like
Yeah.
they should have at least 100 years of experience. And
Some of them are, but like
not as much as, especially I think in the book they get closer to it. I like how when what we were going to watch the first book adaptation, which would have had involved the dragon.
Next time, I
The
swear.
drag. All right, all right. After this, I'm gonna go and ask when you're next free, and
Yes.
this time next month or some shit like that.
Actually, one of my oh no, totally. One of my favorite scenes that exemplifies their cattiness in the books is when they have. Do you remember when Philippa tries to seduce Geralt into staying with her to keep him occupied in the books? And she's relaying her spy mission to the rest of the witches secretly later on after she's fucked around with him and he's left. And she's like, "Oh yeah, he was under my thumb. And she was saying all this like right in front of Yennefer and even Triss to piss them off, like being a real bitch. And she's like, I was able to do whatever I wanted with him. He was at my beck and call. And IRL, she was begging him to stay with her and shit and being pathetic. And he's like, I gotta go, Philippa. I gotta go, Philippa. It's just, yeah, it's like teenage girl behavior for these years of aged women that have these superpowers that are so steeped in politics and shit. It's so unrealistic. It's like when I see movies with like these astronauts that behave like babies. They're fighting amongst each other and shit like that. Like when would they ever put a team this unprofessional and stupid together?
For drama, because if you ever listen to
Yeah.
the real Apollo 13 ones, they're very calm the whole time and are like, Houston, we have a problem.
You have to be.
Yeah, it's back and forth, back and forth. It's very sort of like, okay, what do we do? Okay, what do we do? Okay, what do we do? Okay,
Yeah.
It's back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Very straightforward. In Apollo 13, they're like, hey, listen to me. We have to do the thing with blah, blah, blah. Like, for God's sake, that's not what people who are trained to do this deal with that. They're not fucking
Exactly.
children. I mean, I
Yeah.
get that they're freaked out, and they were freaked out, but I do remember listening to the director's commentary of Apollo 13. Not just director's commentary, but the behind the scenes where they talked to some of the last living people at the time, and they were like, "Oh, they got a little bit frayed, but it never was like that." I'm like, "Yeah, obviously."
Well, can you imagine that kind of panic in like the tin boxes that were still consigned
Flinging
to
their
go into
arms
space?
around machinery breaking as if it wasn't bad
Yeah.
enough as it was.
Yeah.
Um, All right. So, do you wanna wrap anything up with a very quick video? I mean, we can watch the Dustle Dawn snake scene if you really want to.
Yes, I want. Do it. We can totally
Yes,
watch it.
Queen.
It's fine.
Yes.
Yeah.
One more time, though, if you guys haven't already, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. We do apologize. It was technically meant to be about Geralt, and he got about maybe 10% of the time, and the rest of us was just enjoying each other's company. What the fuck is wrong with that?
Yeah, and speaking of enjoying, let's watch Quentin Tarantino enjoy his foot fetish.
Damn right. Well,
Yeah.
different
Yeah.
context for different things. Dust, Bill, Dawn.
Yeah, this is a totally different context. Yeah. This what he does in this scene doesn't have anything to do with what he's into sexually. No.
It took us years it took him years to like people be like, really? Oh, and the guy who is
I can't believe nobody asked before. Maybe Quentin has a foot fetish. I don't know.
also I think the guy who did Elden Ring also apparently has a foot fetish.
Really? I haven't played it yet, so I don't know.
And yeah, if I remember right, he was told by some of his advisors that Westerners would mock him for his foot fetish if he kept on adding feet to it. So, God.
She was, yeah. I love this scene.
Still is. I mean, we still.
She's a character in the series. Have you ever seen the Dust Till Dawn series?
It's on my to-do list for years now.
It's good. I like this song too.
Kurt Cobain over there. I love how even the other showgirls who probably watched it still are getting turned on as well.
Yeah. How can you not? Come on, look at that.
Skeptical Jesus, very true.
Made of ice.
GDR is in the DP RPG video game. Yes, she is. I remember. You are in the you're in the tent at the beach with the mystical ball, and you kind of like roll it. You kind of like have a mini game that gives you buffs.
Oh my god, I have to play that now. I forgot all about it. Fuck. I'm terrible.
Even I've got a cameo.
I'm gonna have to check it. I wonder how she felt about that snake. Like, do you think she was nervous? She's like, oh fuck. Just dance really smoothly and just...
I wonder how much people would pay to have this to be the snake right then and there.
You just wind yourself around so high, like a
Have
snake.
you seen where its tail is going?
Oh yeah, that's not incidental. Somebody in production is like, let me just readjust that.
Oh yeah, every 5 seconds. Every 5 seconds. And we move it here. We just go over here.
This way.
It's not like this was all done in one take or whatever.
This reminds me of a Cool Devices episode. Sex machine.
Oh, you think that might get us copyright?
What? Oh, the song?
Yeah.
Maybe just keep it down a little bit.
Yeah, and we'll talk. I'll mostly talk
We've been
about...
talking over it, honestly, so...
Yeah. Also, let's point out the fact that I love being a man.
Tarantino loves being a man too.
Well, power that he can pull shit like this off.
I wonder how he sold this to her. I was like, okay, Selma, I want you to dance naked or semi-naked with a snake, and I want you to walk over and do this.
Okay, see, now, I know what you're thinking. You're abusing my power. You are absolutely right.
I wonder how he justified it to her. She is like, please do this. Just.
Okay, yeah. Clooney discovers.
Holy shit!
Clooney read the script, but he still fucking is shocked and be like, "Oh, I thought that was a joke."
Slurp.
I love how the brand of the Kuna is called Sleeve.
I mean, to be fair, if like you're gonna develop a foot fetish at any point, it's probably when Salma Hayek does this. To be fair.
Why do I have a feeling this is gonna be a meetup when like a fan meetup at some point, and it's gonna be me in that outfit.
With the snake?
Yeah.
You're gonna just come out dancing? Who's gonna get the foot whiskey in the crowd?
Well, girlie's seen that you're asked. I guess seeing that you're right here.
Okay, but you have to dress in that outfit, and you gotta shave your legs before. Wax them, actually. Wax your legs. I want that whiskey to come down nice and smooth.
I want the cosplay to pull off, so yeah.
I don't want to choke on your leg hair drinking the whiskey, you understand me?
Hey, you'll be choking on my giant-ass toenails, if anything.
That's fair. Yeah. Oh, gross.
That's the first time I've ever said that to a woman.
Oh.
Oh!
You got a positive result. I lolled. And there it is.
Tarantino realized everything that all his critics said throughout his entire career has now been made null and void.
And he's just like, wow, I can do this all the time now. Wiggle your big toe. Wiggle your big toe. Sorry.
That's not in the script. It's in the script now. Whatever you want it to be in the script, I'll be in the script. I have very, very mixed feelings about this, mostly related to why is there bars not like that around anymore? I want there to be more bars like that.
You gotta go to a titty twister somewhere, man.
I do. Without the vampires, though. I mean, the Buffy, because they'd all be Joss Whedon era vampires, no, Milo.
Yeah.
Like, it's like some, oh God, just kill me. I don't care if you turn me into a vampire. Just feed on me and let me die.
You don't want to be seduced slowly by a cringy edgelord vampire played by the guy from the Observer game?
They even fucking spoofed it in an episode where they had Anne Rice spoofed vampires.
She laughed at him. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God. And then, what's his fucking Spike just threatened to devour one of them.
Wasn't there an episode? Wasn't there an episode where she was confronted by the actual Dracula?
Yeah,
she was like, "What the fuck?"
It was like the most mediocre shit.
She was really lame, and she's like, "Okay."
I remember one when she got her first job in the burger joint, and none of the vampires would bite her because she smelled like rotten meat all the time.
It's good defense.
Oh God, I'm half tempted. I've been half tempted to rewatch those episodes. Old show for a while now, just because, just for nostalgia.
Just try not to think about Joss Whedon while you do it.
Well, it's a bit hard considering that his dialogue is in every one of the people's mouths.
I know.
The women. Like,
it's such a shame what a creep he turned out to be. I can't believe that somebody who wrote like such good stories, and especially about, because a lot of people whinge about, we don't have any female-driven main characters. Yes, we do. And Buffy and a lot of the female characters in that show were a great example of that. Can't believe what a fucking prick he turned out to be. That like Sarah Michelle Gellar and like Allison Hannigan and stuff had to protect the little girl playing her sister and shit when he was on set because he was such a fucking bully piece of shit to the cast.
Yep.
What the fuck?
He was.
That's so sad.
He was. I never really liked the style of it, like of how he wrote. But here's the worst part of it. I think that's a standard now. Because have you ever watched show stuff like, say, Scott Pilgrim or God, let me think of another one. Uh, I suppose this would be something he made, Firefly, which
Sure,
again,
yeah.
I like
Firefly,
Firefly.
yeah.
I like
Yeah.
that. I didn't love it, but like just the actual the
I
dialogue, the way
liked
they
Doctor
talk, like
Horrible. Yeah, I even
like
liked Doctor Horrible.
normal people don't talk like that, you know. Whoop, that. And here's the thing: James Gunn is a fan because while it works in Guardians, it does not work in Peacemaker, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my fucking Christ! Entire minutes go by while they're like, "What do you mean by what do you mean? I mean by the thing that you said with the thing. LOL. Then why would anyone think that? Because obviously," and then they say something. It's not funny. They just clearly have autism. That's it.
It's quality screen time is what that is. But I'm sorry to say I have to get going
Yeah, I
because I'm
know.
almost at time. But yes, absolutely true though. I still somehow fucking find myself loving his stuff, but yeah, fuck him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And on that very disjointed, but that by that very logic, very apt bombshell, it is time
Yeah.
to end the show. Girly, your link is down below, but do you have anything you want to
Thank you.
plug before we go?
Well, the only really big upcoming thing is the next episode of Final Girls on my Twitch channel, Girl Does Rant. With co-hosted with Manga Minx. Yeah, we've got a great show planned out. We're going to deep dive into the concept of gothic horror as it applies across games like Bloodborne and movies like From Hell with Johnny Depp, incidentally, now that we're talking about it. So yeah, we're going to look at the trope "and I must scream" as popularized by Harlan Ellison's "I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream." So come and join us. We're going to talk about a whole bunch of stuff. That's on the 30th, and I'll post up all the relevant links and shit. So yeah, that's
Okay.
it.
And on my end, you are not getting a wasted Wednesday because Lady is coming back from Berlin, and you are getting yeah, and she has many things to tell me of her adventures. We also want to go on a bit of a nature walk.
Are you
So
gonna take some brownies on your nature walk that she's bringing back with her?
I would hope so, but knowing her,
Yeah.
she's brought back tons of cake for herself and
Mm.
a little bit of cake for me. But also, she's got to bring me back little tiny shots, little tiny shot glasses, because she knows I like
Oh,
alcohol. So
nice.
that'll be
I'd love
kind of
to. I've
cool.
never been to Berlin, but that's one of the places in Europe I'd like to visit one day. Yeah. All right.
Oh, and on
Yeah.
Friday we have, I do believe, Fit and Curvy and Drunken Crow be joining us
Fun.
for Bitter Ramblings. Okay, that's it. It has been fun. I will try to pin Girly down once again, but she is a slippery woman, always putting that baby oil on.
I run Sonic fast.
Beep, beep,
Sonic
beep.
fast.
Making
Yeah,
the rain,
hyperspeed.
making the Sonic even.
Sonic, ludicrous speed.
Ludicrous street,
Yeah.
111%. Why? Because 11 goes one step more.
Break your legs chasing after me.
Uh, but yeah, we'll try to get you back for next time, and then we can
Yeah.
actually watch it. Which, if 2 hours is your standard, then that clip was about 2 hours long, so that's an entire episode right
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, I think we could do that. Yeah.
Okay. As always, guys, if you enjoyed the show, like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to check the links down below for my Discord, Twitter. If you want to try some money Streamlabs, that's great and all. But tonight, if you are thinking of helping out financially, a good friend of the channel is currently in some really dire shit. Like he's gonna get evicted. It's all in the things down below. So if you're thinking of helping out financially, don't forget to